All right, we are live. So, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to This Week Unloaded. All right, good evening, everybody. Welcome to another episode of This Week's Unloaded. We're up to 174 episodes now. Crazy, right? With us tonight on the panel, we have Mr. Jason Stewart. How are you tonight?
Oh, I'm doing pretty good, Rich. Congrats on 174.
And we also got Mr. Rob D, the New York Outcast. How are you tonight?
Doing all right. A little beat, but hanging in there. Yeah, congratulations and hello, everybody. Thanks for joining us.
All right, let's see. Who do we got out there in the chat? We have John Z was the first one in. At least he says he was. Next was Gizzard Gary, and then Buck was after Gary, and then Jason and CNT Designs, Tim S out there, Guns and Barbecue, and Kingpin making snarky comments. Hey, look, Kingpin, you don't use your link, you don't get to complain about if we're on time or not. Just saying.
What's the guy want? His refund or something? Want his
I
money
don't
back?
know. I don't know.
He expects better of you, Richipedia. That's actually probably my fault. We were rambling and there was a slight technical difficulty. So, but I'll take the blame.
Okay, I will counter that, Kingpin, with this question. Have you done a live stream? Wait and see if his answer is. He said, no, no, no. Not been on one, hosted one.
Just tell him to send his hate mail to the Hillary Foundation.
No, no. All complaints go to shootingleftofcenter at gmail.com.
Hey, man, I'll stand up
You've
for
been around long
Kingpin.
enough to know that.
I'll stand up for Kingpin because the first live chat I was ever on was
Yeah, no.
Kingpin's New Voices.
Yeah, but that was how long ago?
Wasn't
I
that
don't
long
remember,
ago.
Rich. I'm an old man now. I was younger then.
But now that you bring that up, wonder if he's gonna be doing some more of those in the future. So they were pretty cool.
Yeah, this was going to be called Old Voices.
yeah, that was a while ago when he did that. I forgot all about that. But now that you mention it, yeah, because I remember popping in the
It'd be
chat
like
out there and everybody was like,
3
hey,
months ago.
look, it's Rich. Rich is out in the chat. Like, it was a big deal that I was out in the chat. Like, what?
Ancient Voices.
Yeah, everybody was getting excited because I popped in out in the chat for it, and it was like, well, I'm not that big a deal, guys. Come on. Oh, excuse me. So I have no idea what to talk about tonight. We can talk a little bit about Canada. I was watching Runkle of the Bailey's video he was doing on the new policy that Trudeau put in place. Okay, so I think we talked about that a little bit on Gary's show Friday night, and somebody had said that you're not allowed to own handguns in Canada anymore. That's not exactly true. Okay, what it does, anybody that has a handgun already can keep it. Okay, they don't have to get rid of them.
So you've been holding this statement in for like a week?
No, we talked about it on Friday night.
Just checking.
This just happened a couple of days ago with Trudeau. So,
Oh, you're still holding a grudge?
yeah.
Just messing with it.
With that blackface some bitch, hell yeah.
So he suspended all guns, even I heard BB guns and airsoft guns.
No, that's people blowing it out of control. But it's not good. Unless you have, you remember how Kingpin or no, in Maryland you had to have a viable reason to need a handgun for defensive purposes. They've instituted that. Or the only other way you can get one is if you need it for your job, like if you're a security guard, armed guard on a truck, like a armored car kind of truck, that kind of thing. Basically if you need it for your job. Other than law enforcement, this doesn't cover law enforcement at all. Anybody who's law enforcement can get a gun anytime they want. Whoop, we lost Jason.
Well, it sounds like New York, at least my area, because or how it was before all this stuff going on now, which there's more stuff. But basically, there's like 3 different levels of permits. So you spend all the money and hope and pray on your first one, which is supposed to be changed now. You're supposed to be cleared, but there's a stay. We know the news, but there's a stay. If you're lucky enough, you get through, you pay your money, hop through all the hoops. Everybody, does the background check stuff, and all your references actually respond and check out. Then you get approved, and then you can apply for, say, the second level permit, which I believe was blue, which is for law enforcement, security, this and that. And with that permit, you can have a gun in your house, take it to the range, and use it for work. That's it. You can't conceal carry on your day-to-day. And believe it or not, I was told, a lot of officers actually have that permit. They don't even, in some cases, they don't even own a firearm. So it's just a tool with a job, like a flashlight. And then you have the next level, which would be the concealed carry, where you can, which is yellow, that's the one I have, where you can, go wherever. Well, again, prior to this recent stuff, you have basically free roam in a sense within legal, obviously no school zones, that type of stuff. But so that's how we've been for a while. That's like the way it was here in New York, and now we've got this, mess we're in now. So so Canada sounds a lot like New York.
No, it gets worse. Yeah, another way you can get the permit to transfer a handgun in your name is if you're a competitive shooter, but the events you shoot have to abide by the Olympic Committee's rules for firearms, which I can't think of a single handgun that would apply to anyway. When you watch the Olympics, it's all shotgun, air gun, biathlon, which is another type of rifle. So I don't recall any handgun shooting in the Olympics. Is maybe I'm wrong on that, but have you guys ever seen handgun shooting in the Olympics?
Not that I can actually, I think I have, but that was a long, long time ago. I don't know if they still do it, but honestly, I got a big complaint about that personally. Like they limit the shooting sports. We got to watch 3 days of ice skating and shit, but we got no shooting sport. You know what I mean? Like they'll show you the downhill where they're skiing, going quick around the corners. They drop, take some controlled shots. They'll show something, but they basically like neutered the shooting sports of the Olympics, which personally upsets me because I think that's something. You know what I mean? Yes, it's I don't know. I don't want to argue about the form of it or whatever, but it's something. It's a skill there. So I'd like to see more of it. But I believe there was handguns, but I don't know. Maybe somebody should Google search that.
Yeah, Buck's saying if they do, it's 22, and he's not wrong. If they do, it's going to be 22. But getting back to those are the three ways that you can get a permit to buy a firearm now. And if you die, you cannot will your firearms to your children unless they apply, or anybody else for that matter, unless they are cleared to own that firearm under those same categories. So once you pass away, if you don't have anybody in your family that has been cleared by the gun master, firearms master, I think is what they call it in Canada, the local official who handles all that stuff, you have to sell your guns to a legal dealer or have them destroyed by the police.
Okay, they have pistols in Olympic shooting. They have a 10-meter air pistol event in a single loaded pistol in a 4.5 millimeter caliber. And they have a 25-meter event rapid fire pistol in a 5.6 caliber with a 5-shot magazine.
Those are weird calibers.
They have rifle, pistol, and shotgun.
There's a lot of international, like other places, air guns are like wicked popular. Like, they're the thing. So, and as you know, and some of you guys know, air guns they're not all just your Red Ryder BB gun these days. So they can get up there, but there's other basically I was getting at, I can't remember the name of it, but I used to be subscribed to a channel where I used to run in competitions all the time. And these people take it seriously. You go in there in a chat from America and start like making jokes, boy, they'll light you up. So basically they don't show that anymore because of that whole thing with live guns. I guess that fell into it and they shut the whole thing down. So kind of disappointed. More censoring crap, and it was a cool chat to hang out in with people from other places. But just, sorry, I'm rambling. Just another way we're getting screwed nowadays.
Okay. I just looked up that 4.5 millimeter. That is probably 17 HMR because that is a 4.5.
Oh, was their air gun?
Oh, that's air gun?
Yeah, they're all air gun, and you got to shoot them one-handed.
Oh, air gun doesn't count. We're talking regular guns.
Oh! Don't say that in one of those chats.
Yeah, but as far as Canada's law is concerned, that doesn't count. Is what I'm saying. So.
Well, that's probably why we're Olympic air gun, handgun in a sense, is because so many other places that take it so seriously are. Like we're like in those competitions, I've never seen America. There's every other country's there. Not every country, but lots of countries are being represented, but we're never in these competitions. So maybe that rings a bell to somebody. I don't know.
Maybe they shoot better than us. We didn't make it to the.
Dude, they're serious. It's a different form of shooting. Some of it is there's all different stuff, but the quick form, the slow. I mean, these guns are, they look like something out of this sci-fi movie. They got to be pushing $3,000 to $5,000 somewhere in there, easy, custom built computer, all that type of stuff. I mean, they're wearing like special get up clothing and like, it's like a process. Like I don't want to, I shouldn't say it, but some people there like have a whole art form of how they even take their shot. And I don't want to say the wrong thing, but it's pretty cool stuff.
Yeah. Back in when I was in junior RTC in high school, back in the late '80s, early '90s, the air rifles we had were over $1,000 a piece.
Well, what happened was, for a long time, rifle like stuff like that's been a part of the Olympics, and people wanted to introduce pistol into the Olympics. So a lot of logistics came involved. They needed backgrounds, they needed noise, air for the chemicals that come out of smokeless powder and all the kind of different stuff for safety and different stuff like that. So what they came up with is they were either going to do 9 millimeter or they were going to do a version of like the airsoft. And Europeans got together and they were like, "Look, we've embarrassed ourselves all over the planet through World War One and World War II. We can't actually vote for 9 millimeter, so we got to use a real caliber." And that's how they came up with the airsoft round.
Alrighty. Yeah, and we have been joined by Kingpin. Haven't got a chance to introduce him yet, but he is here. How are you tonight?
What up?
Yeah, out there in the chat, we've been joined by Guns and Barbecue again. He must have left and came back. Vanessa Kitty's out there, and so is Gunpowder Beauty. So, good evening, ladies.
I would imagine that's probably one of the things that came into play is, because they could have used 22, but
Mm-hmm.
live rounds, you need a backstop, you need, all that kind of different stuff. So that could have been a reason. But I think what Rob was saying, the fact that, so many European nations, that's all they got to use. So that's what they started with. I think that's probably the most likely.
Well, at one time they did have 22 in there. They had biathlon used to use a 22 rifle. I know that, and they used to have like bullseye shooting in the summer games with 22 rifle.
It's probably a lot easier legally for transportation back and forth, going to all these different countries and all that type of stuff. And like Kingpin was saying, a lot of these places don't have access to actual firearms, or they're highly, highly regulated. So I assume it's a jumble combination of those things.
It really wouldn't be that hard for other countries to have firearms for their Olympics teams. The United States is one of the only countries in the world that the U.S. government doesn't run the Olympic program. Most other countries, it's ran by the government, so those regulations and stuff wouldn't apply to their Olympic teams.
Yeah, but Rob was making a pretty good point. When, I don't know, some weird country like Russia, hosts the Olympics, and then the Ukrainians want to send their Olympic team, Russia might check them at the airport a little bit harder. There could be a lot of that internal conflict kind of stuff with, like Rob was saying, getting across different countries' borders with actual real firearms might be an issue too.
You just have to ship them in ahead of time, and
Yeah,
and then they'll
honestly,
come in a customs warehouse probably.
all I got is speculation. I don't have any knowledge really. I'm just throwing my best guess out there. So could be wrong, but it seems what I got in memory somehow. So I don't know.
I don't think Russia's going to be an issue anytime soon. I don't think the Olympic Committee is going to pick them anytime soon for an Olympics game host anything with what the current situation, what's going on over there in Europe.
I remember hearing something about, I don't know if it was Olympics or what exactly it was, but about other countries like not just inspecting firearms for games like these, but also kind of like making blueprints, taking notes. Like I don't know if it's something to do with competition, or they're going to copy the firearm to make their own version of it. Do you know what I mean? But I've heard that type of thing is an issue too. So I don't know. Yeah, again, I'm sure there's people out there that know a lot more than I do, but I've heard chatter about that as well.
Yeah, and don't forget they do have shotgun in the Olympics. That is still an Olympic sport. Various forms of skeet and trap and whatnot with shotgun are in the Olympics still today. So I mean, for them to, there really isn't a viable excuse for why they couldn't do 22 rifles still. I mean, if you can import a team's worth of shotguns into a country for shotgun competitions, you can do the same thing with a 22.
Dude, you know how laws are. Like, you can't expect them to make sense. Yeah, who knows? Who knows?
Yeah, but we've digressed from the topic. Um, so, what do you think about the whole deal about you can't will your guns to anybody?
I personally wouldn't do that anyway. I'm not going to will my guns to anybody. Allegedly, of course, allegedly.
Oh, I was gonna will my guns. I was gonna give my stuff to you guys.
Why,
Yeah, I've
thank
got
you.
plans. Like right now, if I were to disappear today, there's already plans for all my stuff. But I'm definitely not putting it down on no paperwork. Maryland can get screwed as far as I care. When I'm dead, screw them.
So that's here in America. You can't will your guns.
No, Canada.
No,
Yeah.
Canada.
Okay.
Well, no, and I'm not going to do is I can't
Yeah.
will my guns in America either. I can't just give one of my registered guns to somebody without going through all kinds of paperwork and stuff like that. And now private sales for rifles are off the table in Maryland, so I couldn't even give a 22 to my nephew or something like that without doing paperwork. So that's why I say when I die, they're going somewhere and screw what the government thinks about it.
I knew there was a reason Rob bought a boat.
Well,
You
there's a
get,
lot of people having accidents. You figure,
yeah,
I
and
like the
Rob,
water. I like being out. I like being active.
Uh,
Rob knows where there is a deep bedrock lake up there somewhere
uh-huh.
too. So
See, he put it he snuck it in right under our noses, man. We should have seen it all along. Rob wants a boat, but he wants the cheapest one he can get. He wants it made out of plastic so he can drill a hole in it real easy. So
Hey,
he's just planning on going out and sinking that boat, man.
That's why he's practicing all that magnet fishing. So
Yeah.
when he
uh huh,
has a
Yeah.
boating
exactly.
accident, he can go back to the same place when the zombies show
hey,
up.
I cannot confirm or deny. I would state, ponds and lakes, depending on the situation, who it's owned by, the schedules, might be a good place to stash something. I don't know.
Uh-huh.
But that's nothing to do with what I got, my baby for.
The
Uh huh. You're
SS
out there
Rob
looking.
Tannic, buddy. Rob
Yeah,
Tannic.
Rob's out
Going
there
down
looking.
on his maiden voyage.
Yeah, Rob's out there looking for armored cars, cash registers, and firearms. We know now. Well, now we're on to you.
Yeah. I'm excited. I'm hoping to get it out soon, man. I had to hold up getting life vests, but finally had to order them online because I'm not looking for any fancy stuff, and that's all I see in the stores. Basically, all the stores are cleared out now. The only thing left is that $80 life jacket that's for like water skiing or something that I'm really not interested in. So, but I got them on the way, so I should get them delivered soon. I also got some custom stickers on the way for the boat, so uh, had a poll out there. Jason threw a name up, threw a few different ideas out to my subscribers, and basically they gave me a name. So I'm probably going to do a christening and all that. And I know, it's just a canoe, but it's my canoe. So
The SS Minnow, perfectly.
DM
uh,
Foss, if you're listening to this, I don't care how big of a check I have to write. Please make the Gilligan's Island Rob D. New York Outcast version. Please, please,
Uh,
DM Foss.
yeah, yeah. If he's not out there right now, he does watch a replay and he leaves
that'd be
comments
funny.
after watching the replay, so he will hear that.
Foss, I'm 100% serious. Call me and tell me how many zeros need to be in it, and I'll start writing it. I need to hear the Gilligan's Island song version with Rob D.
Oh man, yeah, I'd like to see
and
that. Too.
and you can legally do that on YouTube because that would be parody.
It's funny.
And I will settle for the Love Boat version as well. You use your creative
Oh,
genius.
Oh, God. What was the Love boat's name? The boat? What is that? The
I don't
princess or
know about
something?
that, man.
Is it Pacific Princess or something?
Yeah, something princess and Princess of the Sea or some shit.
Everything's in the mail at this point. Pretty soon it'll be all legal to take her out as far as Life Vest. So, and I'll have a nice name for her, which the poll at the point that I checked and was willing to order a sticker or whatever was Outcast Carrier was winning. So that's what the sticker is. So I should, I don't know, say something so people don't have to keep voting because we've already voted. Of course, the lady wanted Misfits Misery, so she was hoping that would win. But
If she already got
Now,
that, that's you.
did
yeah,
you the kind of you got a canoe, right?
yeah.
Now, is that one that you would take through like rapids and stuff, or is that intended for like slow, easy, calm type of water, enjoying yourself, kind of like what kind of craft?
Uh, they claim you could take it through rapids, but they claim you could take the average new pickup off road too.
Well,
I
you can't.
wouldn't.
There are people that take canoes through rapids. So,
Yeah, well,
Yeah, but I
you're
don't know what
saying
kind
that
of canoe he got.
there's better options for that. You know what I mean?
yeah, a raft is a better option.
It's mainly for rivers, lakes, ponds, things like that. It's not really for the ocean or anything severe. So you could take it through something mild, but it's really not ideal for taking out for that's your goal, some type of you know fast moving water or rapid setup or something. I wouldn't recommend it. I mean, you could probably get away with it, but it's it probably wouldn't be ideal. So
Yeah. Moo is saying Pacific Princess. I'm assuming he's talking about the Love Boat, so he's agreeing with you, Jason. Pacific Princess. Yeah. Gary threw this out there. It's a good thing he didn't get a raft then, because Rob and his salad fork wouldn't go well with a raft. He'd hit one rapid and he'd have a hole in the damn thing from his salad fork.
Rob's gonna set a record. He's gonna go over Niagara Falls on that canoe.
oh hell no. I'm open to challenges, but not something like that.
Okay, get one of those giant inflatable things that turns you into a human ball and go over Niagara and that. You'll hit the rocks below and just bounce.
Right.
Like you said, you're open to a challenge. That's a challenge, right?
Patriots here. Defense Dad's here.
Yeah.
I didn't say hi to Tim S. or Moo or anybody else either, so hello, everybody.
Yeah. I mean, look at New York. He goes and calls me, always making fun of me, calling me the rich guy. He's the one that has a boat. I don't have a boat.
Yeah, but you got the latest SIG, right?
Think about this. Rob's got a boat, and he's got a white woman servant. You see the videos he's putting out? Putting that woman to work.
Well, we know that already because she's his cement mixer.
He called you my white lady servant. Because of the videos. I told you.
No.
That was Kingpin.
I told you.
Oh no. No.
Next time
Rob
she sees
Rob
Kingpin
probably
gonna
lives
get
in the
slapped in
floors
the mouth.
above Donald Trump.
Damn, dude, I'm gonna have to get like the next 12 copies myself now.
No, that concrete work did look good, Misfits, darling. Well done, ma'am.
She's already walked away, shook her head, but I'll let her know you said that. That's cool.
Like she's gonna believe you.
When I was watching, I said it figures, man. All them New York guys know about concrete, man.
Yeah, well, a lot of things we got to get rid of around here.
I mean, they
I
still ain't
just gotta
found Jimmy
say, Rob,
Hoffa.
do you know where Jimmy Hoffa is?
I don't think Rob was alive then.
New York, New York. Been making concrete shoes since 1923.
Yeah, we do a bit of everything. So, I just threw that one up yesterday, just kind of having fun or whatnot, little joke, and then that kind of took off. So, and people, I don't know, got all kind of crazy about it and shit. Then they started arguing with each other. My phone keeps going, giving me notification. It ain't even like 2 minutes. People yelling back and forth at each other and stuff. Like, what the hell? So, figured I'd throw this out today. So, I don't know, just keep it going, see what happens.
Mm-hmm.
I went back after you replied to the comment. I went back into my feed to clear my stuff out. So I opened it up again and to give you the thumbs up. So I was like, hey, let me go ahead and read some of the comments. And this was early still. And I was like, holy crap, man. There's a lot of people out there with sticks up their butt. This is clearly a really, really funny video. And a lot of people don't get humor.
Mm-mm.
No, and then they want to argue about it and this and that and whatnot. So, I don't know, so whatever.
Yeah, it was Rob's lady, Gunpowder. He will not buy her a cement mixer. He makes her stir it all by hand.
Hey, we use a mixer this time, so which is it's bullshit because I should have been able to get a truck in. Like the people, couple houses down got a truck in, and it was like half the size of what I was trying to order. But when I called the order, they're like, "Oh no, that's below the minimum yardage." Da 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 da. Like assholes. Like I don't know what the hell is going on. So like I shouldn't have had to bag all that. So. Yeah, personally, it's I don't know. It was kind of crap to begin with.
If you want it done right, you gotta use white.
But hey, man, she don't just get a free ride.
I'm not even gonna touch that one.
She's got to pull her weight. You know what I mean?
Again, I'm not touching that one.
She helps with all types of stuff, work related.
Rob's the concrete pimp of New York.
Uh-huh. Talking in all these innuendos. Let's see how it is.
Him and Wayne Brady got the sidewalk, the sidewalk work down packed.
Been pimping Crete since back in the day.
Mm-hmm. By the way, Patriot said there's a pretty cool museum in Niagara. Yeah, I believe there is, actually.
I heard they got a nice aquarium.
I don't know about the aquarium, but the museum, they have like relics of people that have tried going over the falls and stuff and various objects and whatnot.
Yeah, next year they're gonna have a giant statue of Rob, like Slimmy riding the nuclear weapon to the ground, Slim Pickens riding his canoe to the bottom because he's gonna do it. Watch, I'm telling you, Rob's got this. He'll hit the bottom and be like, you know what? I'm gonna do that again with a one chip in my mouth.
Nice, gonna do it while chewing the gummy bear. Gummy bear ain't nothing.
Y'all got a lot of faith, man. A lot of
No, I know what he's gonna do it while chewing the super hot bubble gum that's supposed to be twice as bad as the gummy bears.
You know what they say? You can do anything once.
Patriot's got a point. He said that is one thing I refuse to buy any of the X's, a cement mixer. Just a bad idea.
It's not as bad as a wood chipper.
No, you buy the wood chipper for yourself and just don't teach him how to start it.
Oh my god. The wood chipper. Every time somebody says wood chipper, I think of that movie, Tucker and Dale versus Evil. Where
that's a wonderful movie.
The dude, remember the college kids think they're like serial killers hiding out in the woods, And once he's the one, he goes running and trips and flies right into the freaking wood chipper. That movie is freaking hilarious.
It's been a doozy of a day. That movie is great. If nobody's ever seen Tucker and Dale versus Evil, you gotta watch that. I waited forever, and there was rumors, and they were supposed to be making a part 2, and it just never happened. But that is a great movie, man.
Well, yeah, it's one of those movies where you really shouldn't be laughing at it because of what's happening in the movie, but you can't freaking help yourself because it's so funny how bad things go.
Yeah. I'll clarify that. When I say it's a good movie, it's a great movie, it's funny. You will laugh out loud. Like every scene in the thing, it's a really good comedy, man. It's good.
Dark comedy. Yeah, if you like dark comedies and like horror movie parody kind of things, you'll love it. Go watch it. It's hilarious.
Yeah, it's a shame they didn't have a part 2 out, man. Those two guys are good actors. That whole movie is just really good, man. That's funnier now.
Yeah, it's one giant thing of mistaken identity, shall we say?
Yeah, it's a repeated mistaken. Identity. That's a good way of putting it.
Yeah.
Just a cluster fuck, basically. But hell, it starts out. This will tell you, it starts out. These boys buy an old, run down, completely rotten old like cabin up in the woods, right? But into their lifestyle, they're calling this their vacation home, and they show up to see it, and it's like terrible. Like nobody's lived in it for decades. They look at it and they're like, "Fixer upper hell, it's perfect."
Yeah. It really is a funny ass movie.
Yeah, once again, everybody out there, Tucker and Dale versus Evil. It's a good one.
Tim S says it's one of his favorites. Yeah, my kids and I, when we found that on Netflix, we watched that and we all sat in the living room laughing our asses off at that movie. Knowing full well we probably shouldn't be because of what's going on in the movie, but you can't help it. It's done in such a way that it's just funny as hell. Remember the scene with the kid with the python? I think it was a python.
Well, remember when the bees started attacking him?
Uh-huh.
And the guy, he takes off running because the bees are attacking him. You know, the bee's nest. And one of the teenager kids thought he was a psycho killer, so he's scared. He screams. He takes off running because the killer's, Tucker, whoever's running with him. And then like Tucker gets up and is like passing him. You know what I mean? And the kid looks over like he don't understand. Because, he's running away from the dude thinking he's a killer. And that dude's like passing him and outrun him. And then he's just running along and looks up and runs eyeball face first into a tree limb and kills himself. You know what I mean? That ain't like the other dude's fault.
Yeah, everybody somehow manages to kill themselves in this movie.
Yeah, like the wood chipper. The dude was out there trying to clean the yard up, throwing sticks in the wood chipper. And the teenager kids thought they were going to be a hero, and they come running up there to like tackle him. And right when they come running up to tackle him, he bends down to grab another stick, and the kid goes face first into the wood chipper and tears himself up. And then the dude comes back up with wood, and he's like, well, "What the hell?" There's like feet sticking out. And he's like,
"These kids are crazy."
Yeah, the kids are crazy. They're killing themselves.
It's a suicide cult.
There's some reality into some of that, in a sense. I mean, something like I I just never understand it. But when you see like a grown ass man cross 2, 3 lanes, cut people off, screech on the brakes, stop in the middle of a lane because there's a damn bee in their car, like unless you're like highly allergic or something, and even if you are, you should have one of them pens or whatever they have with you. You know what I mean? Like it should be in like your part of your EDC. You know, but like I don't know. I grown ass people, like, you know what I mean? Whether it's a little spider or a bee or something, boy, all the bitch comes right out of them real quick, and it just blows my freaking mind. Like you're gonna literally kill somebody because you're afraid to get
Well,
stung.
this
Like
this wasn't this
goddamn.
wasn't one. This wasn't one, Rob, and this wasn't
Oh,
just
yeah.
like a standard bee nest. This was a big hornet's
Okay,
nest.
well, I get
the
that.
dude
Yeah,
had
the
like
movie is
100
probably
stings on his
embellished, but
face.
I've actually seen people damn near kill people because of a bee. Like what the hell's wrong with these people? You know what I mean? Or run off a roof and almost push somebody over and shit because of a bee. Like you're supposed to be a badass construction dude, and you're running like a little bitch. Like what is going on here? You're bigger than the spider. You know, you're bigger than the bee.
Phobias are a real thing. So, but the one with the python, I think it was a python. It might have been a Smith. It might have been a Smith and Wesson Model 27. I don't remember for sure. It's been a while since I've seen it. But this deputy sheriff manages, or the sheriff actually, I think it actually was the sheriff, manages to get himself killed. This kid finds his gun, picks it up, goes to shoot it, and click, click. Thinks it's unloaded. He's like trying to figure out. Points the gun at himself, pulls the trigger, and shoots himself right in the face.
Yeah.
It sounds like the Darwin Award movie or something.
It is. It basically is.
It started out, Rob, like I told you, the two old boys, the good old boys, they done got their vacation home, right? And like they're in the same area where these college kids are coming up to party and drink beer for the weekend in the woods, right? Well, the two old boys are out fishing, night fishing in their little boat at midnight, and the teenagers all come down there, skinny dipping and whatever, and the girl jumps off like a high rock cliff and comes down in shallow water and like hits her head. And the two guys are fishing and they like see it and like, oh my God, and they like paddle the boat over there and save the girl's life, pull her out of the water, and then they holler over at their friends, hey, we got your friend, help, we got your friend. And the teenagers think they're kidnappers and shit, and I'll take off running the other way. And that's how it all got started.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy, man.
Oh yeah, you got to watch it, Rob. It's a great movie.
Spiders are scary. You shut the ass. Look, man, woman, look, you're bigger than the spider. Okay, show it who's the boss. Damn it.
Another screwed up thing is the sheriff come out to investigate. You know what I mean? Just see what was going on. And he comes up to see the old boys he's talking to him. He steps on a bad
Well, hold
board
on,
their
hold
own
on.
house.
You gotta explain the whole thing because they know it's there. They just haven't fixed it yet because it's almost gotten them a few times.
Yeah, when you walk in the door of a place, if you step on a board wrong, it flips up and there's like a nail.
No, it swings
board.
down. The board
Yeah.
swings down from the roof
Gonna hit you in your head.
with a bunch of nails sticking out of it.
And like the sheriff just comes walking there. Oh yeah, hey, how you doing? And he walks
Whack.
up, and he steps on that board and gets hit and killed right in front of him. You know what I mean? And they're like, oh crap, now we're gonna get blamed for killing the sheriff. And that's where the kids got the sheriff's gun, his pistol and stuff. And like
You got
Richard's saying, he's looking at it, can't figure it out, points at himself, pulls the trigger.
Yeah, it's one of those Murphy's Law, mistaken identities. Nobody stops to talk to anybody to find out what's actually going on. And by the time you do, every one of the college kids except two are dead. It's like the sheriff's dead. I mean, it's like, oh my God, it's crazy. One of the guys ends up getting his finger cut off. You really gotta watch that movie. It is hilarious, and everybody, especially now, Halloween. That's a great Halloween movie.
Yeah, it's definitely a good one, man. You will laugh. If you don't laugh at your ass off at that movie, there's something wrong with you.
Hmm. And we've been joined by Mr. and Mrs. Gunsnob out in the chat. So, evening to you two, Stacy and Kent. Another good one for this time of year that breaks away from your traditional horror movie when it starts as your traditional horror movie and then turns into a sci-fi movie is Cabin in the Woods. If you've seen that one.
Yeah, Cabin in the
Yeah, I've
Woods ain't
seen
too
that.
bad.
Hey, you guys, anybody got any good recipes for like popcorn balls?
No,
Excuse me? Popcorn balls?
yeah,
Yeah.
no.
Uh, don't you just you gotta
Probably
do it by hand? It's messy, right? You gotta
Yeah,
put
probably
I've never made them, but
corn
yeah,
syrup and corn syrup over popcorn, and you just like
or melted caramel. You can use caramel for them too.
yeah, I thought it was caramel or something. I don't know, man. Like the
I'm
ones you
sure you
buy
can.
at the store already pre-made taste like crap. Like, you know what I mean? But the ones I used to get from like the old ladies, man, they were good. Like, so I'm assuming it's homemade because nowadays you can't, well,
And
people don't do that, but
I'm sure you
uh,
can find them on a recipe online for it.
yeah, I was just figuring somebody might have had an idea. So you're
Yeah,
talking about Halloween, and I just
never
had a
tried.
flash
Never
in my
tried.
mind.
Yeah, never tried making them, so I don't know.
You're gonna want to start with the popcorn that you like the best. If you just buy like cheap, quick to pop in the microwave popcorn, then you're gonna taste that like styrofoamy taste.
Yeah,
I would
another
get
one
like
that's
horrible Redenbachers because it seems like if you buy like the store brand popcorn, like it just doesn't pop the same. You get these little quarter-inch kernels and shit. That Orville seems to get like almost an inch size popcorn kernel like you're supposed to get. So seems like you cheap out. I don't know. They all look this damn same, so I don't really know. But seems like the better brand gets the better popcorn. If that makes any
yeah.
sense.
look, man. I want to tell you something here. I'm not joking with you. I'm not playing around and just hating you because you buy this product or whatever. Especially Orville Redenbacher, but any of them, do not buy microwave popcorn. And I'm going to tell you why. It's because almost for years, they don't make it here today very much, but for decades, all that microwave popcorn was almost 100% made right here where I live. We are called the popcorn capital of the world. Our festivals are the popcorn festival, all that crap. That was all bought and made out in a factory out here. And what they call in people at work there terms is called slurry. But if you would open up that popcorn and look, there's like a oil mix and like a butter mix that's all hard that needs to be melted that's in there with that popcorn. That will give you cancer. Every single every employee that worked there that had anything to do with that slurry, had anything to do with those machines, all got cancer. The whole plant is closed down from it, and I swear, every person in my small town here that has worked there for the decades all have cancer from that, man. They
Well, that's a
call it
good
the
heads up, man.
they
Thanks.
call it the popcorn lottery here for the people that got big money settlements and they get big money settlements every couple of years. All of that microwave popcorn stuff will give you cancer, man. I swear to God, I'm not playing with you. I'm not causing a joke or messing with you. Go get a popcorn maker and make it the old-fashioned way, hot air and popcorn. But that microwave stuff is seriously dangerous, and it's made by ConAgra and all the big corporations that get by with that crap. They've known for years it was dangerous stuff, and they put it in your food anyways, man. But I'm serious. It's not like a couple of people. You're talking like hundreds of people here, dude, with cancer that worked with that stuff in that popcorn. So do not buy microwave popcorn, man. Just telling you.
See, that makes me glad. I'm old fashioned. I use like a regular just saucepan, tiny bit of oil, and throw the lid on it, give it a little shake. Good to go. You can put on your seasoning if you want, or butter or whatever. I just usually just load up with salt. But so I'm glad I do it old school. So it's just so much cheaper. Like,
Yeah,
it,
my wife's been using the Orville Redenbacher lately. She likes it too.
That was one of the. See, it's like everything else in America. Like it can say Orville Redenbacher on it. It can say Kroger's on it. It can say
I'm not
Jiffy
talking about the
Pop, whatever,
microwave.
and it all comes from the same place.
Yeah.
Orville Redenbacher was one of the biggest brands they made out there.
Yeah. I'm talking about the regular popcorn, not the microwave, by the way. So
Yeah.
just wanted to clarify that. Yeah, like the jar that Rob was just showing. You eat Oreos with a fork, Rob?
Fork?
Man, what is wrong with you?
God.
Wait a second. Wait, I gotta get with Rob. That is brilliant.
yeah, man.
Oreos with
Italian
a fork.
messy.
God, he probably eats pizza with a fork too, and I ain't talking about the super thick Chicago-style deep dish where you ain't got a choice in the matter. Yeah, he's up there slicing up New York-style pizza with a knife and fork. And
No,
eating
I
it.
fold my pizza and carefully eat it so the oil doesn't destroy my clothes.
Uh-huh. Anybody who eats Oreos with a fork's eating their pizza with a fork too. Be honest.
You just get with the times, man. This is how you do it now. You just slide it in the fork, dip it in, let it sit a minute, and then
I
when
could
you're
see
ready,
if you were making fried Oreos,
fried Oreo. What the
You
hell?
gotta think.
Yeah.
You never had a fried Oreo, Rob?
No, I refuse to eat shit like that.
Oh, dude, you dip it in funnel cake batter
Oil.
and then you deep fry it.
You can use pancake batter too.
Yeah.
The funnel cake batter gives you more of a crust, though. The pancake batter sometimes is a little thin.
Man, that is good carnival food right there, boy.
Oh
I'm
no,
telling
let's
you.
get back to Rob. Let's get back to Rob's cookie. I think it's brilliant because if you're looking for a full dunk, and if you're looking for soak time, you can drop that thing down in there, let go of it, not get milk all over your fingers,
Yep.
and not have to worry about it being stuck in the bottom of the cup, and then you can't get it until you finish drinking it till the end.
Yeah, but if you leave it in the milk too long, you're gonna have nothing but mush. It's gonna
Yeah,
fall
but it's on a
apart.
fork, so you stick the mush in your mouth and.
No, you don't. I'm saying you leave it in there too long, it's gonna disintegrate.
Well, you don't leave it in there
Then
for
you have
3
chocolate
days.
milk.
It's
You
an
don't
art.
leave it in
but
there for
you'll
3
get it.
days.
Yeah.
And also, one of the problems, I myself like to do a half a dip and a bite, but a lot of times when you do a half a dip and a bite, the cookie that's left in your hand crumbles all up and it can't be re-dipped. So,
Do you like the
forced to
double
eat.
stuff?
Hmm?
Do you like the double stuff?
I do
Or
like
is
the
it-
double stuff. Yeah.
That's the double stuff. So
I actually like the originals better. The double stuff's almost got too
Too
much
much?
sweet stuff for me.
you
They
tried the
definitely
ones
taste
with the mint in them? Those are pretty good.
I tried a bunch of the different flavored ones. I can't mess with the mint. I like it; it's good flavor, but that's not my favorite. Just I don't like mint candy like that unless it's like a breath mint. But I think the only one that was really like actually nasty was the banana cream one.
I'll tell you what's nasty. Everything that's out there for sale right now has got pumpkin in it.
Oh,
Only
God.
thing should have pumpkin in it is pumpkin pie. Okay? Or pumpkin
Good
roll.
way.
We don't need pumpkin coffee, pumpkin donuts, pumpkin cakes, pumpkin breakfast, pumpkin
Hey,
this.
I gotta call time out on that one, man. Those pumpkin donuts are damn good.
Well,
I'm not talking pumpkin spice horse shit. I'm talking the ones that actually have the pumpkin in it. Those pumpkin donuts are really good.
All right, educate me, because pumpkin's disgusting and it's not food. How do you make? What part of the pumpkin do you make pumpkin pie out of?
The inner guts, man.
No, the inner guts are the seeds that you roast and have pumpkin seeds from.
Those are good.
Yeah.
Roasted pumpkin seeds, those are good.
Yeah,
Nice
those are good.
salted roasted
Great.
pumpkin seeds are good.
Yeah, you got to scrape it out, basically your seeds, and then basically almost like you were gonna
Like a
carve the
melon.
pumpkin, clean it out, but then
Mhm.
you go ahead and I don't know what it's called, the grind or something.
The
Uh,
rind.
I don't know. You basically take everything but the outside skin. Like you'll tell the difference in it, and then I guess mush that shit up. So
Yeah, you basically it's like making mashed potatoes out of a pumpkin kind of thing. You
Right.
do it some way you would mashed potatoes.
But yeah, I don't know. I can understand the coffee or whatever, but they push it too much. I think so.
Oh,
Even
pumpkin
the
spice
donut,
is overrated.
different flavored donut or whatever. But yeah, it's like pumpkin everything now.
Well, it's
I
pumpkin spice. It's not all.
I
It
seen
all doesn't have pumpkin in it.
I seen pumpkin alcohol the other day on the shelf. I was like, what the hell is this? Like,
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, they got pumpkin beers. They
Yeah,
got
it's
pumpkin
it's all
everything around
wow,
here,
like
man.
that's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah, it's all pumpkin spice
Yeah,
though.
so
It's
yeah,
not actual
yeah.
pumpkin. It doesn't have the actual fruit in it. It's just the spices like you would put in a pumpkin pie. It's like why?
That's
Why?
marketable.
Yeah, it's all over the damn place this time of year. It's like, God, I'm sick of it. Oh, another thing that's good, by the way, is pumpkin eggnog. Eggnog with the actual pumpkin or summer squash, whichever one you want to use for it. Because a lot of your pumpkin that you use for pumpkin pie or pumpkin pies you buy and whatnot, it's not actual pumpkin, it's summer squash that they use. It has a similar flavor to pumpkin and it doesn't cost as much and whatnot, so it's easier to grow and
It's
there's some
bullshit,
other
man.
stuff. Yeah,
Whatever they
but
call it, that's what it should be.
yeah,
It's
but
like that.
you can't taste the difference if you
Mixed with
take.
the blueberries, it is really cranberries flavored
Well,
like
they're
blueberries. Like, what
yeah,
the
but
hell is going?
yeah, but
Keep
Rob,
telling the difference.
they're closely related, and you can't tell the difference in flavor. You really can't. They taste the same.
That's not the point. It's like the whole tuna fish thing where they can legally put 7 different types of fish in a can
Hmm
because they'll all classify as tuna fish. So if you want tuna
Well,
fish and actually
there's
know what the hell
umpteen
it is,
different varieties of tuna.
get the albacore. Yeah, but it's mystery fish. Some of those probably got 3 eyes, dude.
It's the
Yeah.
chicken of the
They
sea.
got them in Springfield.
If you look at imitation shrimp and imitation any type of seafood, that's some.
It's fish.
Yeah, but it's. People think like hot dogs are the worst of the animal, and it's probably not even really all that bad. But like imitation stuff is pretty nasty.
Well, you get the imitation crab. It's fish that's got crab seasoning on it. That's all it is. But what was I going to say now? Damn it! I was going to say something. I forgot what the hell it was. Shit.
Had a shitty experience last night.
Did you
Yeah.
poop your pants because you forgot the car doesn't have a toilet in it?
But after work, whatever, got here late, popped in the shower, this and that, gonna go get something to eat. Was trying to be quick, not trying to pressure her to cook, blah 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 blah, all this type of stuff. I ended up running out, stopped by Cracker Barrel. Don't ask me why, because I cursed the place for some reason. We ended up there, and man, like everything was screwed up, man. Like it wasn't even that busy. We got in there and had to wait forever just to talk to somebody. And then they didn't know if they had a table. And then they had a table. So they got a table for us, but there was tables. They put us in with all these other people. Not that that's a bad thing or something, but keep in mind, we're just 2 adults looking for a quiet meal. Like, you don't set them next to the families with the kids and all this stuff. So that's what they did. So we're sitting over there, ended up sitting there like 15 minutes. In 15 minutes, I smelled shit 3 times sitting at a table to eat. And nobody came by to even, take our order for drinks and shit. Finally, lady came by and I already talked to the lady. I'm like, yo, like, we should just do something else. It's crazy. She could tell I was not happy. Needless to state, the waitress comes up to us after taking a huge order at this table. Comes up, she's like, "Oh, I'll be right with you." And we're like, "Okay," and then she turns around and goes to another table that's huge. Like they got like tables pushed together, taking orders and shit. I was like, oh hell no. So we just got up and walked out, and ended up cooking shit at home anyway. So yeah, just goes to show, man, save your damn money. I mean, unless you want to deal with bullshit nowadays, like service has just gone downhill, downhill.
Well, that's
I mean,
because you're in New York. I mean,
how do you, change your damn kid's diaper, man? I don't
yeah,
understand. You
that
got a
that
damn
I can
dinner
get. I
table,
can see.
dude. Like, what the, like, yo.
That's disgusting.
Yo, yeah, like, I can't eat here. I'm like, yo, I'm not paying for this.
No, like, yo, go change your kid's diaper, bitch. What the hell's wrong with you?
Oh my goodness! Like, and the worst part was I couldn't even see a little kid, but you can't really see in the next booth over the way they got like the lattice and all the shit hanging up. So it's just, so I don't even see the source of the smell. So it's lofting through the place. So they got to smell it, and you're just sitting there eating, like not giving a damn. Like,
Oh,
come on,
no,
people! Come on, people!
my wife
Damn!
would. My wife would have took one whiff of the kids when they were that age having shit their pants, and she would have had them in the bathroom so fast.
It's just common courtesy. You know what's gonna happen.
Mm-hmm.
But you shouldn't be smelling it for 15 minutes while you're eating.
No.
Like, come on, man. You know what I mean? Like, thank God I didn't even get a soda. I didn't even get offered a soda. Like, forget the cornbread. I didn't even get a damn soda. Like, shit.
They'll change the kid when they get home.
All right, so we got something from Defense Dad here saying this is what you should have ordered. So let me go over here. Oops, I don't want to do that.
If it's a diaper full of baby shit, let me know ahead of time.
No, it's not a diaper full of baby shit. You're safe, Kingpin.
Oh man. And what's up with one waitress? Like all these, like the place, there was people all over. Like they had employees. Why is there one waitress over there? Like I don't, like, damn.
That's what Defense Dad says you should have had for dinner last night.
I don't know.
That looks pretty good. I haven't had a good thick sliced pizza in ages.
It would like the fried crust like that.
But
Yeah,
damn, they
does look good.
awful skimpy with the pepperonis, man.
Yeah, they are. But I don't know, man. We do pizza. Was like once a week around here, so the lady gets pizzaed out. So I'm with you. I could have settled the pizza last night, but it didn't work that way.
I think Patriot's hinting out there that they did that to get rid of you.
I don't know. Who knows? Maybe it worked. Because shit, I ain't trying to give them my money. So that place was slow, like packed, and not. I don't know. It was just some nuts. Like nothing made sense in there. So
Hey, I'll go off on a little tangent for just a second. The reason, and I try to explain this to my parents and different people in person, the reason that the restaurant sucks so bad and nobody cares about how much it sucks so bad is because we've all just allowed it to suck so bad. We've decided somehow that the consumer is no longer the most powerful person in the business world, and we've allowed I don't know, I guess tolerance or whatever. There's all kinds of different reasons that we've allowed it, but the number one thing is we took our power as the consumer and threw it away. So we just accept whatever they give us now. 20 years ago, you walked into McDonald's and asked for a burger with no onions. If they gave you a burger with onions, they flipped over backwards and did all kinds of somersaults trying to make sure that you got what you wanted in a timely fashion, and they were very sorry about it. Now they'll tell you, fuck you, go to Burger King.
90 seconds or less, or it's free. Remember those days? Like, yeah, they had like a minute and a half at the drive-through window, or your order was free.
The reason that one of the main reasons that we gave up our power of consumership is our children work in those companies, and we're afraid to tell little Johnny and little Susie that they suck at what they do and they need to step it up.
I went to McDonald's yesterday morning. It was a terrible experience. Waited in line forever, and of course you guys got the dual drive-through McDonald's where
Mm,
there's two places to order,
Yeah, yeah,
and
that.
then
yeah.
nobody knows the correct way who was done first to pull out in front of each other, and they pull out and they block so nobody else can pull forward and make an order. And
Man,
it's the McDonald's where every customer in line
you-
plays on their phone while there's two car spaces in front of them.
good
But
Lord, man.
anyways, we get through all that, and I get up there to order. I went there for breakfast. They got no hot cakes. Okay, so you can't get no pancakes. Got no hot cakes. They got no McGriddle stuff like that.
Oh man, I love
Got none
that.
of
That's my
that.
go-to at McDonald's for
A-
breakfast is the McGriddle.
And then we hadn't had them for a while, but I heard they came back a couple months ago. So I go get a steak bagel,
Uh-huh.
and I look down, and a steak bagel is $7.90.
Uh-huh.
Not the meal, just the steak bagel. I'm like, oh hell no, man. Ended up getting two sausage burritos and two sausage gravy with a biscuit, and that was $10, man. I was like, man, this place sucks. No pancakes, no nothing. I'm sorry, we're out of that. I'm sorry, we're out of that. Ugh, and then dealing with all the stupid people that don't know how to drive or do anything, man. Oh, I just had a terrible morning, man.
I like that. They should come up with a term for that, like the drive-through battle or something, because it's like that here too. People, they'll be staring at you, grilling you down, and like, because you had a simple, just give me a number one with a Coke, okay? Like they want to like curse you out and cut you off and shit because they're over there like, I think I'll take, you got this.
Oh,
You got that. Can you do it with no pickles and and
Oh,
then
so
they
you were
want to be
behind
like
you
yelling at
were
you and shit, and it's like, well,
you were behind
yeah,
Kingpin at the drive-thru is what you're
what the
saying.
fuck? But yeah, I don't know. People should know better than try to get special shit because it never comes out right.
I
It
know.
never comes out like you just piss the people off in there. That's all that happens.
That shit gets me too, man. That pisses me off too, because it's like, it's McDonald's, man. They've had the same shit for years, and people pull up there and they're like deer in
Uh-huh.
the headlight, lost.
Yeah, yeah, I
And
hate
then
that.
when they order shit, they want some stupid ass shit like, I want two McDoubles, uh, no pickle. I want light on the mustard and shit like that, and take this off or put this on or what next time. Man, this ain't Burger King or Wendy's or no
How
shit.
much
This is
is this? Yeah.
McDonald's, man. You know, you order what it is, what it says, and get the hell out so somebody else can, man. Get so
Dude,
When you
sick of
get
these
to the
picky
register, have
eating
your money
fuckers.
ready to go. Like I understand not flashing money around, but I hate that shit. Doesn't matter if it's a gas station, grocery store. Like when they tell you how much, you shouldn't go, "Oh, where's my money?" and start searching around and look
hmm
here, look there, and oh geez, oh wait, I got my card too. Hold on, and like Jesus, I know like what my total's going to be before the cash register does because half the times they screw the shit up or God forbid they got to figure it out without the computer. Like, whoa, like they're lost. But I don't understand. It's just everything would go so much quicker. And then people say, "Oh, cash is the problem." Bullshit, bullshit. You got all these old people with these cards you got to tap and slide and shit. The cashier's trying to do it. They're trying to do it. They're both screwing it up. Fucking now they're coming around playing with the shit. All I want to do is drop my $20 down and get out the goddamn door. Like get out the way, people.
You know what, man? I hate to say it. One of the best times of my life is when we had the COVID lockdown. The roads
That's what
weren't
my
as
wife
packed.
says all the time. She
I didn't.
is sick and tired of the
I
non-essentials being on the road.
I was the roads were so much more open. There wasn't traffic jams at rush hour. things were great, man. Like you go to the park, and there's only a couple people. I mean, it's just, oh, life was so much better when we had COVID restrictions, man. For happiness on my end, really.
Are we just getting old? Just
Well, yeah, this is turning into the curmudgeon discussion.
Have you guys
about
noticed?
everything?
Have you guys noticed that Monday is like a ghost town? Is that because tomorrow when I get up and go to work, I won't see a car until I get to my next stop, and the next car that I'll see will be a car in a parking lot. Monday is like an absolute ghost town in this area.
I don't really notice that.
No, we'll have plenty going on tomorrow around here. Yeah.
Shit, Defense Dad says almost all fast food joints is faster, lower price, and easier through the app. The McDonald's that we ordered through the app for, when my wife went in to get her hysterectomy, my daughter and her fiance and I, we went to the McDonald's. It was the only freaking fast food place that was near the hospital. We ordered through the app before we left the hospital, and we still waited 45 minutes for our fucking order at the McDonald's. It is not faster. If we wouldn't have had it already prepaid, I would just walk the fuck out.
I was gonna say, Kingpin, maybe in Maryland nobody wants to face another week of it or something. You know what I mean?
That's possible. That's very possible.
Mm-hmm.
So one of the good things. Shit, hold on, I'll be right back.
So, on a different note, got some goofy kid riding around on a bike, like claiming he's a volunteer cop. Got a little badge and shit. He's got like one of them safety, like reflector, like crossing guard things on.
Push him over.
Like, he's like 12, but he's pretty tall. I guess he stopped to I don't know, I guess the lady looks suspicious, or no, he stopped to pet the cats. He likes to pet all the neighborhood pets and stuff. So I don't know, it turned out being a thing. The lady was laughing her ass off. I guess he's out just doing his patrols and help some lady down the street or something. So I don't know if he's sincerely just volunteering or if the kid's maybe slightly off, but I certainly hope he don't work the night shift, because I can tell you, he's like, his ass rolls up and the wrong people around here asking questions like a cop, and you ain't a cop.
Does he have a portable scanner?
Trouble, dude. Well, I don't know. Yeah, I think he does. Honestly,
he's gonna roll up on his bike to a murder scene, be the first one on scene, and fuck up the entire crime scene.
Talking about, oh yeah, Cartoo's my buddy, it's so and so, and that. So I don't know. I'm like, well, damn. Like, I support the kid, but you better be freaking careful. Like, yeah.
I'm with you, Rob. I'm with you, Rob. Rich, this kid probably is going to be the murder scene. Yeah. I can tell you got to get rid of this kid, man. You got to chase him off.
You go up to him and steal his wallet, and then he's like, you can't do that. Be like, defund the police.
Well, let me just tell you what you're not thinking about. Rob will always think about worst case scenarios. So here's why I tell you, you got to get rid of this. Do good.
Yeah, he had something. She said he had radio chatter going on.
It sounds to me like he's a pussy boy, and he ain't gonna be able to handle it out here on the mean streets. And he's just your little pretend someday I want to be a cop. He's a little potential cop, ranger, Boy Scout right now, right? Something bad's gonna happen to that boy out there on the streets.
Yeah,
then it sounds all funny, but when something happens to that boy out there on the street, then your streets are going to be filled with the real cops, man. And you could avoid all this, man. Run him off. Tell him, don't come back here no more.
It's New York, man. If they shoot that little kid in the street, they'll let him out on bail and build a statue.
No, man. No bail. They let him out on no bail. What are you talking about?
Yeah, no bail. And still build a statue in there on it.
Well, see, no bail, Rob. You can handle this yourself then.
Yeah, he wrote him up.
One is, I seen this kid, like he must have had a growth spurt or something because I didn't recognize him. But I seen this kid like a year ago, 2 years ago, no joke, running around with a little freaking thing on with a fake badge and like he wears like regular clothes, but he throws this on almost like the crossing walk people have, the little reflective vest or you
Oh,
know,
he's got the orange Suicide Watch vest. Is what
So
you're
he's
saying?
impersonating
kind of,
an
yeah. I was
officer.
gonna say like if you're running on base or something like that, it's similar. So, but basically, so yeah, but he was a lot smaller then, and he had a little like green cap gun thing on too. So he's been doing this for a while. I guess he's just got more free roam now.
See, man, this is impersonating an officer, and if you
Mm-hmm.
don't nip this in the bud right now, this kid in a few years is going to grow up, and then he's going to buy like a surplus Ford Explorer from the sheriff's department somewhere,
Yeah,
and he's going to hang out on the
trying
street,
to get dates and
and
shit,
the
right?
real cops are going to nail him for impersonating an officer and stuff, and he's going to be in real trouble, man. All because
Maybe,
everybody looked the
maybe.
other way, you know what I mean? Thought it was funny or felt sorry for him.
Yeah,
Got tough love. Nip this in the bud.
to
You
answer
know,
your question, Snob, he got out his little notebook and wrote Rob up a citation for having a Honda Civic in crayon.
for not breaking up his leaves.
Yeah,
Well,
not
that's the
raking up the
funny
leaves
thing is,
that his neighbor blew into his yard with his leaf blower.
the funny thing is, I seen it on the camera. I was in the office and I seen him like standing there. He rolled up, like pulled a U. Came up, parked his bike like he pulled my car over, and then he gets off, pulls his helmet off, and he starts talking to somebody. And I'm like, what the hell?
Who the hell's
So
he talking to?
like,
Yeah, he's a mental case.
I don't know, man. So, I'll definitely keep an eye on him.
You're gonna go out there one morning. You're gonna have a bunch of little pieces of notebook paper, those little flippy notebooks papers with the you owe this for this, you owe that for that. Oh, underneath your windshield wiper.
Should kid have his car towed away or some shit?
He'll go get his little brother or sister with their big wheel and hook it up to the car. They're gonna tow his car with a big wheel. They're gonna go get an
No,
old cowboy boot and put that on his wheel and say they put a boot on his car so he can't go anywhere.
it'd take at least 10 of those Barbie Jeeps to tow that car like that.
I said big wheel. I didn't even say Barbie Jeep.
Well, man, if he wants to be a cop, you need to teach him how to be a real cop. Go out there and pay him off with Monopoly money.
Rob can't teach him how to be a real cop because then the cop would shoot him.
Yeah, yeah. I thought about
Well,
hooking
Rob said he
them up,
does
but
have a
then I
cop car.
figured it'd be a bad idea because,
Give him one of
especially
your.
like with our state laws and shit like that, you can't even run around with a pellet gun. So airsoft he could, but still, if I get hooked this kid because I got a bunch of this stuff. If I hook this kid up with something and he ends up getting shot in 2 weeks, you know,
Yeah, yeah,
seriously, like you know what I mean, like
yeah.
I'd like to be nice, like what the hell am I gonna do with this shit, but it's a catch 22. Like, what legally will I be at fault? No, but consciously, I kind of know better. I ain't letting my kids run around with shit like that. Like, that's why I have a whole locker full of shit because around here, that's a great way to have problems, CPS at your door, or somebody gets shot. I think it's bullshit, but it's the way it is. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
well,
So,
keep in mind, Rob, you are in New York State. Don't put it past the prosecutor to try and charge you
oh,
if you
yeah,
were
that's
to.
well, even so, maybe. So
Yeah.
it's like it's kind of like shit, man. I like feel bad because shit, you know if it was good spirit and wasn't encouraging anything bad, but at the same time, yeah, I can't have that shit on my hands, man. It's a
Just red
shame,
red flag him, Rob. Just red flag him. He'll get out.
Rob end up in jail and then getting sued by the parents for giving the kid a goddamn airsoft gun.
Probably.
Only thing you should give that kid is tips on how to spy on your crusty neighbors. Like, hey, I think they're into something crazy over that house. Go stand in front of their house all day and look at them.
Yeah, just staring at him through the window.
Now, I might sick him on this crazy lady, though. There's a crazy lady that walks around, and one of our neighbors has a dog, and the dog like sit on the couch, like kind of straddles the back and looks out the window. And this lady comes up and she like starts beating on the window all the time, and she's got a little dog with her, but she cuts, well off the sidewalk up to this guy's window, starts beating it. Like a couple times she took her shoe off and was beating on the wall, like like trying to get the dog's attention and shit. And the guy, he's like, hey, stop beating on my stuff. Like, I appreciate you don't just come in looking in my window, like, Anyway, now she just like she still does it all the time, especially if he ain't home. Like, she'll do it and shit, but she's quick, so I don't know. She's a crazy lady. But basically, she goes out there and argues with this guy about, well, it's a dog thing. It's not about you, and da 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 da. And she just wants to see her dog. Like, she's fighting for her dog. She'll pick her dog up to like shove its face to the glass, and the other dog's inside the window looking at the crazy lady. And then the guy will be like, hey, like, stop beating on the glass. And then she yells at him. So maybe I'll try to sick the kid on that crazy lady, because that'd probably be interesting. And he's got to be faster than she is. So I don't think she'll actually get her hands on him, but probably make a good video too.
We were joined out there by Abigail. Hey, Abby. So, yeah. That kid's probably got something wrong with him. He's probably autistic or some shit.
Maybe. I don't know. I don't know his details. I'm pretty sure he's part of a big family that are all serious trouble. And he's like one of the youngest. So maybe police is, to him, is
He needs to
how he
go.
got to sleep at night. How when the house gets quiet is after the cops show up. You know what I mean? I don't know. I can't state. Could be a drug baby. I got no clue. I mean, he might just be a regular kid that's just crazy. I don't know. Not crazy.
If he's crazy, he ain't regular, Rob.
I'm just telling
that's
you,
the
Rob.
definition.
You can't have these do-gooders hanging around, man. You're gonna have to do something.
He's Abby Normal, like the brain in Young Frankenstein.
I don't like thieves, so anything that helps keep the thieves away, even if it is some nosy kid looking at things, that's fine with me.
That nosy kid's gonna get himself in trouble one of these days, though.
Yeah, like I said, I highly recommend he stays off night shift.
I tell you what it is. I'm not too sure why we didn't think about this earlier. That's probably one of the 87,000 IRS agents that were
Oh, is
disarmed.
that
And
what it is?
they're spying on Rob. They're spying on Rob.
Oh man, you might be onto something there.
Uh-huh. No, not you, Abby. The kid that tried to run in Rob's neighborhood on his bike with saying he's a volunteer cop. Abby something. Abby Normal. You brought me an abnormal brain. Speaking of funny movies, Young Frankenstein. If you haven't seen it,
Oh yeah, that was good.
Oh yeah.
I like Transylvania 65000.
yeah, that wasn't bad.
That was a pretty good one too. I don't know how I remember the name of that shit, but I think I just like the vampire chick, man.
But man, that Young Frankenstein, that had Terry Garr when she was just a young little thing, man. Oh.
Mm-hmm.
How is it? What is it? The Logan Act? Is that the one where they always try to get the politicians who are brokering deals with foreign companies, with foreign countries? Is
When
that
they're
what it
not a
is?
politician anymore.
Hmm.
Yeah, when they're not officially working for the government, they're just cutting deals on their own.
How did Mark Hamill get away with sending a bunch of drones to Ukraine? Wouldn't that be a violation of some type of Logan Act or some type of Don't Mess with Other Countries Act?
It would certainly be in a gray area. I'm going to tell you that much.
Well, if something's politically popular, you can do whatever you want until somebody stops you.
So what did he do exactly?
He sent a bunch of drones to Ukraine, like 150 drones or some amount of drones over to Ukraine.
Okay, well, if he wasn't getting anything back from it, it would just be like a gift then, support or aid. So as long as he didn't broker some deal to, profit him or change any kind of uh, political policies or anything, I guess it'd be okay.
Were they cheap drones or any idea?
I skimmed through the article just a little bit, so to full disclosure, I did not read the entire article, but I read a good portion of it, and it seems like that they were intended for military use. Now, they obviously weren't like Predator drones like the military, the U.S. government has, but they're definitely intended for military use, whether that would be armament or spying. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm just curious, like what, if it gave some kind of idea of what type of drone or whatever, because a lot of the smaller ones are, there's a lot of stuff out there. So, I mean, and what you do with it, you could slap almost any label on. But I will tell you, some of the cheaper ones, if they 150 went over and you just hand it to a guy, like probably 75 are toast on the first day. So, they take a little bit to get used to. But when you get up to like the bigger stuff, it's a lot better. But it's a lot more expensive too. So, and if you don't have GPS to help guide you for like a newbie and stuff like that, where they show on the commercials, you can fly through window frames and all types of shit and da 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 da. Yeah, that's though not saying there isn't people that can do that, but the average guy ain't doing that shit without GPS, without the systems included in the software that's gonna help guide you. Like you almost can't crash. But depending where you are, Warzone, all this, without those additives, just standing, here's your drone. Shit, that no, that's it's an act of faith, depending on what what they were actually given.
Yeah. Well, real quick, C&T, got to correct that sentence for you. It should read, well, it's official, Motel 8 sucks. Yeah, you don't have to specify they're in there, just the whole place sucks.
Yep, Patriot Luke Skywalker sent drones.
These are not the drones you were looking for.
But I don't know. I guess that's okay. Like you or I could like put together a care package and send it over there, right? Like we could raise, supplies, water, canned food, stuff like that. We could send that over there, and that we didn't do anything wrong.
Okay.
So like,
So if
I guess
Vladimir
he could
Putin,
send whatever. I guess, right?
if Vladimir Putin sends a hypersonic missile into Mark Hamill's house today, is that fine? Because he's
Well,
basically become an enemy combatant. Is my point. So if
well,
Vladimir Putin kills him, are we supposed to be upset about that?
I wouldn't be.
I mean,
He's a
we as in the
douchebag.
American government.
uh, not to get technical on it, but Depends. Does he live here in the United States?
That'd be my
So we
question.
can't have
Where is he
Putin
located?
hitting our land. But if he lives over on, like the Canary Islands or something over in Europe, anyways,
Better have good security.
I would guess. I don't think I've seen any evidence that Mark Hamill's a pedophile, but he's a massive liberal, so he hates America. Therefore, he definitely lives in the United States.
uh, doesn't he spend most of his life in Hollywood?
Martha's Vineyard.
That makes him guilt by association.
Hey, all Putin's got to say is his technology is 50 years old. He meant to hit Ukraine, and it went a little bit off target, and it hit Mark Hamill's house. It could happen to anybody.
Well, I'll just say this. The man ain't made a movie in 40 years. He only made 2 or 3, right?
No, he was in
Corvette
a
Summer.
couple
Okay,
of
blah,
Star
blah,
Wars
blah,
movies.
blah.
Then he was in that one Jay and Bob movie.
Okay, whatever. He ain't worked in 40 years. He really didn't have a bunch of work when he did work. And he's still rich, been rich his whole life, and like you said, is a Democrat. So, you add all that up together, and that's what you get.
Mark Hamill is kind of like the heater guy. I can't remember what his name is. Napoleon Dynamite. I don't remember what his real name is. Heater or something.
So this is the Star Wars guy, not the ice skater, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
the
Star Wars guy. Yeah, the voice of the Joker in Batman the Animated Series.
That's his biggest problem, is he became such a huge cult iconic star as Luke Skywalker. He was never going to get another job doing anything ever again until Jay and Silent Bob made him Cockknocker.
Mm. Well, yeah, he's done a lot of voice acting in cartoons and stuff too.
He claims to be more of a thespian, so he likes to do Broadway type of stuff like that. But generally, people that say that just can't get Hollywood roles.
You know what? I actually watched some Star Wars stuff last weekend. They had like all of them in a row, and I actually tuned in a couple times. He wasn't that good of an actor.
Pat's out there, Pat hiding in his bunker. Well, he could be out there riding 3-wheelers, but it might be a little cold this time of year in Nebraska for that. But you never know.
Damn slacker. Out there riding 3-wheelers, having fun, playing with the kids, all this shit, and we still ain't got our gun built.
Ain't got our AC-130 plans drawn up either yet to go get that from Afghanistan.
He's too busy having chats with people in Canada and shit. Damn guy.
Mm-hmm. Pat's probably making plans to go up to Canada and get all the guns that they can't sell to anybody up there now. He says it's 72 degrees in Nebraska.
Yeah, it got pretty warm here today. It's pretty nice out right now. But speaking of Canada, what about the news of the Royal Canadian Mounted Police doing operations here on our side of the border? Surveillance and guns.
Yeah, wasn't that like in Montana or some shit? And the local sheriff went in and ran them out of the town.
Yeah, man. And they admitted there's a $1.1 billion task force, whatever, cooperation between them, ATF and the Canadians, to let a foreign police force conduct investigations on U.S. citizens that haven't done anything? How can they let that be? That's crazy.
The best part about it is when they pedal their way across the border back to Canada, they're sharing all that information with the Chinese government.
Well, probably not just them, but probably
our government that's not
ATF
allowed
and
to have it
everything too.
anyways. Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably what it's all. That's probably why it's approved, is so they, they can share it. I mean, there's other situations I probably shouldn't bring up, but where sometimes you get trained in things where you can't do that here. So you go somewhere else, or they torture and abuse you, but because of certain laws, things and this and that, blah 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 blah, you just don't do that here. So you pay somebody else to do it, and it's perfectly legal. I mean, we use contractors for shit all the time, and that's on another aspect too, where we can't do it as government capacity or whatever, or put our forces there, but we can pay somebody else to do our work.
That's Chinese. I'll translate that. That's Chinese for $5.57.
That's whatever Biden was trying to say the other day, but he forgot to put trillion in there because he did say trillion one time too.
Yeah.
Well, what should be and what is are often two different things. And then people want to bitch at the average guy for saving a few bucks on taxes. They call it loopholes. If you play the damn game, you save a couple bucks, and that's what all the big guys do. Well, this is similar experience. These people, they make the rules, this and that. They play the game, and they get to work around them too. And we pay for it both ways.
If they're trespassing in your yard, I say shoot them, Abby. One less red coat.
Somebody letting off fireworks.
Somebody letting off fireworks?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was fireworks. Didn't have the right, I don't know, the bass, the rapport, the deepness to it. So
what the fuck would be going on today that they would be letting off fireworks?
who knows? It's always happy hour for somebody, I guess. Or what is it? It's always 5 o'clock somewhere, beer 30 somewhere. I don't know. You guys know what I'm trying to get at. Somebody's probably got a reason to celebrate something. Who knows? Or somebody's car is getting attacked.
Man, we've been
You
all over the
watching the
place.
football game, Rich?
Yeah, told you I got the football game on in the background
Who's winning?
before we went live.
Who's winning?
Miami by 16-10. Halfway through the third.
Yeah, he's been institutionalized by the major sports complex that's trying to take over
Jason,
America and destroy the world and rot your brains.
What happened with the Browns and the Ravens today, Jason? Who won that game?
I think
I don't know, man.
I think it might have been the
watching
Ravens eventually. That game, that was a decent game.
So who won?
The Ravens, but it was real close. Kansas City destroyed San Francisco in the second half. That game was close in the first half, and all of a sudden Kansas City woke up in the second half and just obliterated San Francisco.
I really gave up on the NFL this year, man. I don't watch. I don't listen. I don't care. I gave them a year longer than I should have last year. I just got so sick of all their wokeness, their kneeling for the flag crap, their commercials about injustice, make believe injustice, and all their crap. So I just can't watch it anymore, man. And I was a devoted football fan my entire life since a child, man. But I can't do it anymore, man. I can't watch that and expose myself to that BS.
Proud of you, Jason. It's a big step. It's like just bred into most Americans in some cases. But I'm proud of you to be able to say no.
The reason that I bang on about sports ball so much isn't because I don't like the entertainment of the sports, because I am a football fan. I didn't watch football for years and years and years, and then when the Ravens came on, a lot of my buddies were watching it, so I'd sit there and watch it, and I enjoyed the technical aspect of the football, watching guys play good football. So I get that about the sports, but the thing I don't understand about the sports is how people scream about the Constitution, scream about the American way, scream about respect and all this other kind of stuff, and then go watch a game where all the players, all the league, all the commercials tell them how much they hate them. Yeah, all the NFLs and sports leagues have hockey.
And they're
Hockey
willing
just
to
came
look
out.
bad.
Hockey just came out and said there's too many white. The NHL said there's too many white people in the NHL. Not some stupid journalist somewhere. The NHL said there's too many white people in the NHL. And a bunch of stupid goons are going to run back and turn on every time ice sport is on.
This sounds stupid, probably, but I can tell you, black people don't like the cold, man. It's just what it is. So, yeah, I'm not saying there ain't black hockey players under that type of stuff or whatever, or a lot of these places aren't indoors and stuff. But it's just I don't know. It's not something I've seen a lot of people do and just grow up ice skating.
As somebody who played
That I
ice hockey, man, it is not cold on that ice. When you get down there, you sweat your ass off, especially a goaltender because you got the most pads of anybody. You sweat your ass off playing hockey.
Yeah, but the thing of it is, man, like, not a lot of black guys play hockey, man. There have
No, they
been
don't.
some. I remember some. No big deal. Yeah, you know what I mean? The goalie's black over there. So what? Nobody cares. It's not like there was a rule that said black guys couldn't play hockey. If a guy is a good athlete, wants to go play hockey and he can make the hockey team, that's on him. If he wants to go do something else and not play hockey, that's fine. There's like no rule says you can't. So that's like stupid of them to make their own surveys and their own new decisions and stuff about there ain't enough black people in their sports league
Yeah,
or
I
whatever.
mean, you get a
But
handful of.
to add to that, I think I might have seen the same thing Kingpin had. But you go
Yeah,
down
I
to
saw
it, they're also complaining because there ain't enough gays that play hockey. You know what I mean? So they're just, I
well,
don't know.
there's
They're just
ways in
finding
with hockey
something to
too.
cry about, man.
There's ways in with hockey too. I mean, that are I don't know if it's annually or something like that, but AAA, like almost anybody can show up and try out. Like whether you're a goalie or whatever, they're gonna shoot 100 pucks at you, see what you do, stuff like you can go and attempt it. You can beat a nobody, show up and have a chance, but it's just like I said, it's just I don't think it's a popular thing amongst you know
No.
I'm usually the only black guy there at the ice rink. So, I put it that way. So, or
Yeah, it's,
snowboarding or skiing, like seriously. So I don't know, and there's black people around.
yeah. There's been a handful every season. There you'll have a handful of black dudes that are in the NHL. And usually they're pretty good players, but for the most part, when you go in like the inner cities and stuff, the black kids aren't playing hockey. You don't see black kids out there playing street hockey. You see the white kids out there playing street hockey. The black kids are at the basketball court or playing football or something. They don't go. They don't play. Black dudes just in the United States anyway don't play hockey as a general rule.
Oh, Tim S. got a good point, man. Get Bo Jackson to play hockey. Now, I bet Bo Jackson would have been an awesome hockey player, man. Because Bo was badass. He could do anything, even with a bad hip.
I don't know if he. I never saw him on a pair of skates, so I
Well,
don't know.
what
I
about
don't know.
figure skating? Because maybe it's skating in general. Is there a lot of black people in figure skating?
No,
Not that I can recall. No.
I think I've seen one or two, maybe, but I don't. Maybe I don't know. So I know my dad got into it, and he was AAA for a little bit. I don't want to give any more information, but uh, and he was in New York City, basically, watch people ice skate, had to learn how to skate. They eventually let him skate. And that's how he did his thing, was just showing up for tryouts. But he did that as of like 10 years ago, just showed up at a local place and did it again and got like 97 out of 100 pucks or something like that. And they were talking, but he was well past the age. They just kind of humored him and stuff. But it was, he had a good time. He started playing before you had all those pads and shit. Like, a lot of the old actors that were famous hockey players, like my dad knew a lot of these people. They're in a lot of the 80s movies, things like that. So, I mean, the rules have changed a lot, but they're just, like I said, to my knowledge, there's just not that many people. It was very rare to see other black people in anything like that, or even watching hockey. Jeez, you guys ever seen those old ass pads? Oh my God, man.
Well, why don't they just ban black people for playing hockey, and then they can call their sport honky?
That was pretty good. I gotta give you that.
It's at the end, the champions get the Hoobie looking like Stanley Cup.
Kingpin said like you were doing good work earlier. They said I wouldn't tell you, but I told them I would.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
As long as that sandwich was still quality afterwards, then that's all fine too. Got to keep things prioritized.
Yeah. She's grinning, but she ain't laughing.
Yeah. I just thought about something. If you break down the NHL demographically, I bet you anything it lines up just like the population would.
Oh, probably. I know, like, back in the day, it was like, the Canadians pretty much dominated hockey in a sense, but, it's cold, they're further from the equator, you know what I mean? It's more of a,
Shit, ain't all the really, really good hockey players, they're like not even Canadian, right? They're like from Europe and stuff nowadays, right?
I don't know about recently. And,
not really.
From Czechoslovakia places.
Nah, the best players that are in the league right now are from Canada and the United States, actually. If you were to list the best players, except for maybe Ovechkin, who's a puck hog and just likes to keep the puck to himself and shoot it all the time.
I don't know, man. When I see hockey highlights on the news, man, them guys sure got a lot of funny last names. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but you get a lot of American players and Canadian players that have those funny last names now too, from their parents who were from over there and immigrated over here to play in the NHL, and then they had kids, and then their kids are playing in the NHL and stuff. So.
Wasn't that more the case kind of like back in the 80s and 90s where you had a lot of the Czechs and the Russians and that's when I can remember
that's when you started seeing the influx like Fedorov and Yager and all those guys.
Bunch of white guys too, wasn't it?
Uh-huh. Well, what do you expect to come from Russia and Czechoslovakia, Jason? Jesus Christ.
Fucking racist ass hockey.
Well, I know we were dogging sports, but I just state like hockey's like one game I could actually sit through and enjoy. Like baseball, football, I don't really have it.
That's what my wife says. My wife said if we ever go to a sporting game through the VetTix thing that I told you about last week, that it's going to be a hockey game. She can sit through and watch hockey. She can't sit through and watch a football game.
Well, I went to one like a couple of years ago. I got free tickets somehow, something, I don't know. And it was pretty good. And it was even just a smaller, like, local thing. But it was actually entertaining versus some of this other stuff. I mean, I don't know. I know, watching a ball go across a couple lines back and forth one way or a damn hockey puck. But I don't know. It seemed more entertaining, and nobody's slapping each other on the asses in spandex. You know what I mean? Well, actually, they probably were spandex. I don't know, but I don't know. It
The
seems
hockey
more
shorts.
manly than all this goddamn.
Yeah, the
I
hockey
don't
the
know.
hockey shorts they wear with their uniform. If you don't have your pads on underneath, they're extremely loose fitting. They're not spandex.
Yeah. I mean, they're more like men. I mean, they're not these giant, you know, steroid babies complaining about not getting 5 million for a season to do something they freaking love to do, like, which is ridiculous in my opinion. I don't know. It just seems like a better sport. I don't know. It's probably all bullshit nowadays too, or whatever. Same thing, bread and circus, but it seems more entertaining to me. So
Yeah, it's almost nonstop action in hockey.
I tell you what, I went to a hockey game a few years ago, Columbus Blue Jackets, and they're usually a pretty good hockey team. But I don't know anything about hockey. Uh, but I went to the game, but because I had not to brag, but we had the VIP tickets, so I was way up in the top. Free food, free bar,
big
open walk
shot,
around anywhere
top
I wanted.
shelf.
Yeah, even had an elevator take me to where I was going. Everybody else walked. But anyways, I had a really good time. I didn't know anything about it, and it was moving so fast it's hard to see. But it's like the wrestling the other night. It was a small venue, you know, considering, you know what I mean. It's not like a football stadium.
Yeah.
Uh, the crowd was 100% into it. They had their own cheers at certain times and stuff where the whole crowd knew what was going on, you know what I mean? And it was just a really cool, exciting atmosphere. And their arena down there is like brand new and it's first class and it's nice as hell everywhere, man. And like I had a really good time. Not a hockey fan at all, but I think they won that night. They were a good team. Usually good like their playoffs and stuff. But so the crowd was really into it, and they got their own songs and their own chants and the cannon they shoot off when they score a goal, and they got a lot going on, man. The regulars, I would say, that would go to every one of those games. They've really got a good fan base here for that, and it's an enjoyable time.
The best seat in the house for a hockey fan or somebody who wants to go to a hockey game just to go. Try to get middle ice, one level up. Anywhere middle ice, one level up is going to be the best place for you to see all the action.
Hmm.
Actually, be able to keep track of the puck. You're not going to be able to see some of the finesse, like somebody takes a really cool shot, but that's what the jumbotron and the replay's for. But if you're down on the ice, you can only see a very limited amount of stuff. And if you're up too high, it's hard to keep track of where the actual puck is at.
Yep. Kingpin's absolutely right. If you're not on the ice, best place is exactly where he just said.
Now, if you're just a diehard ice hockey fan, then you really sit wherever you feel like, because you'll love it. But if you're going to go to one game just because, that's what I would recommend. Middle ice, one level up.
Oh, before I forget, thanks Kingpin for reaching out the other day.
Oh man, glad to do it. No problem.
Yeah, Vanessa Kitty brings up a good point. Welcome back, by the way, Vanessa. She said, get seats right at the wall at the corners. Yeah, if you like seeing people get just plastered into the boards, yeah, get up close and personal with the player there.
That's one of the fun things about sitting by the boards is when you get crashed into, especially if you're like on one of the corners where it starts to curve,
Mm-hmm.
and when a puck hits the glass in front of you and you're not paying attention, that will scare the crap out of you.
Well, geez, what
And
the hell's a shot on, let's say, center ice going into a corner? Isn't that like 120, 130 miles per hour going crashing?
no. The fastest slap shot, the record for that's held by Zdeno Chara, and it's only like 108 miles an hour.
Ally Freddie from the
108.
Capitals
No big deal.
held the record for many years when I was younger at like 99 miles per hour.
Yeah,
Back in the
it's nowhere
day,
near as
it
fast as
was
what you're saying, Pat.
face mask or nothing like that.
Oh, I've been hit in the face with a hockey puck without a mask on. The bridge of my nose is flat because of it.
Yeah.
A hockey puck, we used to play a lot of street hockey, and a hockey puck is hard. A roller puck is just as hard.
No, it's not.
when you
No,
have-
it's not.
When you have jerks for friends that know you're the goalie without the cup, that sucks.
Yeah, but trust me, a vulcanized rubber ice hockey puck is much harder than the street
Well,
hockey
yeah,
puck.
it's much harder, but you can't use a
Dude, a
regular
damn
hockey
wiffle
puck
ball
on
for
the
the nut
asphalt.
I'm not saying it doesn't hurt. I'm just saying there's no comparison as far as how
Yeah,
hard, especially since the vulcanized rubber pucks, they freeze them so
Yeah,
they
but you
slide better
can't-
on the ice.
You can't use an actual hockey puck on a parking
No.
lot.
No,
I mean, you can, but it sucks really bad. That's why.
It's the same reason why they use vulcanized rubber for tires. You know, it grips the.
To give an idea of the density of a hockey puck, the poor way to lift your truck involves hockey pucks. That used to be a thing. So.
Yeah, here's the difference. I've been hit in the face with street hockey pucks. I've been hit in the face with actual ice hockey puck. Getting hit in the face with the street hockey puck didn't make me have to see a doctor.
Oh no, I agree. I agree. But maybe I was making my point wrong. Is the fact that you're not going to be in a parking lot somewhere and get hit with a ice hockey puck unless your friend picks it up and throws it at you.
Mm. Oh, and I'm sure we've all had that dickhead friend that would do just that.
Yeah, they're dicks. Hockey friend. If you grew up with friends that like to play street hockey, you grew up with a bunch of dicks.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
What's best is the
Oh yeah, checking you into cars and shit, playing street hockey.
the slap to the back of the legs with the hockey stick.
That's
so
funny.
Our friend Billy, I won't mention his last name for the internet, but our friend Billy was like excellent at hockey. Before he put shoes on his feet, he put skates on. I mean, this guy was like all day, every day hockey. And he would punish everybody because he was so good with the stick. He'd ride behind you and you wouldn't notice him, and then you'd feel a street hockey puck slap you between the legs.
Yeah.
Oh, man, dude, he was really good.
Hold your leg when you're about to go, and he damn near like face plant and shit. Yeah, you could have a lot of fun if you're sneaky and shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, kid shit.
Two things that you learn real quick that you are going to use pads for every other time. One, playing street hockey. Two, paintball. Because first we played street hockey with no pads, and that was devastatingly bad idea. And then we played paintball with no gloves or masks or helmet, and that was a terrible idea.
Yeah, the only time I played street hockey without pads is when I was playing with my little brother and his friends out in this, basically me and one of our neighbors who also was a hockey player. We ran our own little hockey camp for the kids in the neighborhood. But that's the only time I wasn't wearing pads playing any kind of hockey.
I don't know. I shot my friend with a pellet gun, and it went right through his little wind pants and got him right in the calf, or thigh, and he had to squeeze it out like a pimple.
Ow.
Yeah. But the son of a bitch deserved it because we were done. I was going inside for a minute, and then I turned around I don't know if I was running in to get a drink or something, and he popped up and he pulled the trigger on me. That son of a bitch. So I turned around and shot his ass. He deserved that. You don't shoot a man in the back even a kid like that. You know what I mean? You don't shoot your bro in the back when he's going to get a drink or take a piss. What kind of shit is that?
It's like South Park. Butters, you don't shoot people in the dick.
He's lucky because I might have been aiming there.
And Vanessa brings up a good point, going back to my point about having jerks for friends. When you don't know how to play lacrosse and you don't know anything about the rules, and then your friends convince you to play some pickup lacrosse, and one of the rules is they get to hit you with a stick. I didn't know that. And my friends all knew that, and they all just basically beat me with the stick for 15 minutes until I quit. And they were like, "No, it's part of the rules."
Yeah. You know, we rip on Canada, right? But look at it this way, man. The two sports that they're accredited for creating both let you have a weapon.
Yeah, hockey's no joke. Well, yeah, can't speak for modern stuff, but yeah, it was more serious back in the day without all these, 5 inches of pads everywhere.
One of the things, but the thing that hockey's got going for it is a lot of the rules that they changed to make the game less violent. They changed rules to make it also more entertaining. Like right now, you can basically high stick a goal, and that allows people that have spent time, juggling with hockey pucks on their stick and doing all kinds
Why
of.
the hell did they do that? Is
Dude,
that a
you
new
can
rule
you can
this
you can
season?
pick up you can scoop up your puck and go over your waist now and throw the puck in the goal.
What?
Before you couldn't go take your stick over the waist. Now you can.
No, you couldn't.
Yeah, now you can go over your waist and basically like lacrosse throw a puck into a net.
When did they change that?
A couple years ago, my friend was showing me some highlights on ESPN, and I was like, "Wait a minute, that's a violation." He was like, "No, dude, what are you talking about?" He's like, "Years ago they
It's high
changed that."
stick. That's a high stick.
Not anymore. Not
Yeah.
not a high stick still counts. Like if you hurt somebody, like if you hit somebody.
Yeah,
But
penalty. Yeah.
if you loop around do a loop around the back of the net, and you got the puck on the stick and it's above your waist, you can still throw it. Like Gary Gates style, the old lacrosse player style,
Mm,
where you jump behind the net and throw it in.
that's horse shit.
It's horse shit, but there's a lot more highlight reel goals now.
Lord.
I, for one, think it's bad. I don't like it.
Yeah.
I like I
I,
like the original hockey, where if you take the stick above your waist, then it's a
yeah.
penalty.
As a goaltender, as a former goaltender, I want to file a formal complaint about that rule. That should not be allowed.
Hey,
Oh
man.
yeah, if we're gonna
Hey,
do
let,
that, then
let,
make
let
the
them
net
play the
smaller.
game, man.
The
They
net
all
used to be smaller. They made the net bigger.
they all signed a waiver.
All the sports make changes to, to to make the game easier on offense and harder on defense. They think that's what puts fans in the stands, man. More offense. Football's changed the rules to be like that. Basketball. So hockey's the same way, I guess.
Well, I say we bring dueling back. Like, you do it with like 25 shorts at like, I don't know,
Thank you.
40, 50 feet, and wear, I don't know, some kind of Kevlar coat or something if you insist, or whatever, some t-shirt shit. Nothing really good. Like, we don't want no plates or nothing. Like, they got to at least feel it. But
Well, you know
yeah,
what, man? We do,
You
Rob.
feel it if you have a plate, Rob.
We could
well,
buy.
not with a 25. You're not feeling shit.
We could. We could.
You
We
get hit with
already.
like a 308 or so, that's a different story. But
Look, we already got that, Rob. We combine jousting and dueling in one thing, and it's called a drive-by.
Hey, you
yeah,
could
but
always you could
one
always sign
person
up for
doesn't
that
really know
medieval
when
MMA.
it's coming. You know what I mean? I want to see you like line both cars up
Shit,
on
Rob.
on a street, and then go ahead and drive by. I mean, you can even throw the game of chicken in and
Just do
and
the
do a
do
drive by that way or something.
just sign up for medieval MMA.
That's brilliant though, because if you think about it,
Rob. I love it.
just like the old jousting, like where you set the pole up in the middle, and then one horse comes from one area, and they try to hit each other with the stick.
Yep.
Just do
Yep.
that with guns and cars now.
Yeah, you get three of your homies in there, you know what I mean, and they can get three of their homies, and you all gear up and see who's what.
And you know how the evolution would go. The first couple guys would be some, some real Bubba type of dudes, whether they're black or white or Asian or whatever, just down to earth dudes with some beat up cars and just driving around, bah, bah, bah. And then within a month or two, people like Elon Musk will be driving hypercars, dueling with each other with like Mac 10s.
Oh hell, man! It'll all go corporate, and they'll be bringing in ringers from the Crips and Bloods to play.
Well, you remember you heard it here.
Drive by
on
brought to
my
you by
cut.
Pepsi.
Well, I'll tell you what, they could break that down into two categories, because one could be the vehicle, because when they used to do the jousting, it used to be 3 rounds max. So it would have to come down to the vehicle, and it'd have to come down to the guys shooting. So if your vehicle couldn't make it to the 3rd round, you were done. So there'd be a little bit of thinking on that part, because some guys might be shooting at the car to take out the radiator, the block, the head, fuel injection.
I just want to know.
You just make it black powder only.
I just want to know where
And
they're
we
going
can
to
have this
find.
at the county fair, man. I'm telling you.
I just want to know where they're going to find enough. Yeah, but guys, one thing you're forgetting: where are they going to find enough 64 Impalas to do this?
Hey, whoa. Hold on. As a former co-owner of a 64 Impala, the 64 Impala is exempt from being scratched, breathed on wrong, or damaged in any way, shape, or form.
Co-owner, god damn.
65 and up, have at it.
Bubble top or no, it doesn't matter. You can't hurt those good-looking old cars. I'm talking about you.
Hey, we've all seen the old Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg videos. They're all driving around in them 64s. Come on, man, you got to do it right.
Okay. What if you don't shoot the car? You don't wreck the cars. You go to the jousted, and you try to block in and make the other car stop. Then you get out and carjack the other car.
Competitive carjacking.
That'd be like extra points, right? Yeah, you don't necessarily have to, but if you can get them stopped and jack their car too, oh yeah, that's showmanship.
Well, wasn't it a rule if you knock the guy off his horse, you got his horse? So if you kill the driver, you get his car.
Yeah, but you also got responsibility of his wife and 12 kids.
No, because the rules before you sign up is your stupid little wife and kids got to clean your blood and guts out of my car before I take it.
No. I like it better where you get to keep their wife and kids too.
Okay, I'm down with that too. As long as they still got to clean the car, I gotta get them brains out of the car before I get in it.
Yeah, gotta scoop the brains out.
I think we just lost people with the wife and kids part. I mean, we probably could have got some sponsorship, but
okay,
it's America.
Okay.
Rob, when there's more on the line, the better the competition.
Okay, is just Baby Mama okay?
No, dude, you guys are missing out. This is 2022.
Well, did you like her?
No, this is 2020.
I don't know. Some of those guys all walk out on them.
You guys are thinking small. This is Liberal Land, Clown World 2022. We're going to get more sponsors if we tell them we're abusing women and children.
Yeah, you better.
Every corporate sponsor will put our logo in their bio.
Okay, who wants to do the public service announcement that the views and opinions of Kingpin, yada, yada, yada?
Okay, now I can see this going full NASCAR, and everybody's got sponsors on the hoods, and everybody's wearing baseball caps with the logos.
What did you think I meant when I said it's going to go all corporate and they're going to bring in ringers from the Bloods and Crips, Pat? Come on.
Body armor logos, all types of crap like that. Yeah.
How many wife beater T-shirts we're going to sell?
Guess what? I'll promote it, but I'm not partaking in that particular entertainment. Good Lord, we just found out a new sport.
Ride or die, Pat. What's wrong with you, man?
But to do it legally would probably have to be done with like paintball or something.
You'll be all right. I know you're.
Nobody tags you for their ride.
Oh God, what if it's a? Okay, here it is. it's kind of like a round robin deal where you've got a pool of 100 guys and they randomly get picked to ride in those cars. Doesn't matter who it is. So yeah, it'd be definitely the definition of ride or die right there, because it's life dependency.
I just want to know why Pat has a pool with 100 guys in it.
Well, you think about it, Pat. You could change that a little bit, because if every driver is required a passenger, remember what the passenger's called? Shotgun. So the passenger gets to wield a 12 gauge.
Oh, I like that. Okay, so how many guys per car? Is
Three.
it just
He already said 3.
Well,
Okay.
that would have to be, there would be different brackets.
Well,
Because there would be the bus bracket where you have like 50 people on the bus, and there'd be the motorcycle bracket where you have one,
Awesome.
maybe 2 on the motorcycle. You know, you could have all kinds of different weight classes, kind of stuff.
Yeah, you
Different-
could have a sidecar on the bike. Yeah, you
You could probably get people to team up for like, the Super Bowl of it, where you get a couple teams together and then just lock them in a Walmart parking lot and let them go at it.
Throw them in like the Colosseum in Rome, gladiator combat.
Yep.
Dude, and then out in the parking lot, like as the tailgate party, you can get those dudes that do the burnouts in the intersections, and have 2 of them doing burnouts, shooting at each other, while people are getting like steaks and crab soup and stuff like that out in the parking lot.
Okay, so is the Coliseum going to have to be lined with Lexan, or is it just everybody signs a waiver when they walk in, and if you catch a stray bullet, tough shit?
Coliseum,
Oh, yeah, just
it's
like
a good thing. It's a
NASCAR.
good thing that I'm in charge of the finances around here, because you guys are breaking my company. We've got streets in New York and Baltimore that are ready for this competition tonight.
Well, don't worry,
Yeah, just-
Kingpin. Don't worry. I mean, sports are pretty much like that today. Whether it's a fair or whether it's any kind of sporting NASCAR, when you purchase your ticket, little do you know, you're agreeing that if a tire flies off and lands on your kid, you're not going to sue them.
Yeah, but
That comes with the deal. If you get on a fair ride and the son of a bitch decides to roll down the highway, you can't sue nobody.
yeah,
It's
Pat,
on the back of your little wristband ticket thing, everything you pay for. So this is no different. You show up, it's at your own damn risk.
yeah, and Pat, have you not seen the Montreal Grand Prix? You just block off some streets and you turn the streets into the track.
Wait a second. All right, Andrew Judge hit 62 home runs. So when the home run went over, they had to confiscate it from the person and all that. What if, like, on my 100th shot, it's a stray bullet, and then the person's got to, like, dig out the bullet and give it back to me?
Now.
And, well, I'll take a picture with him and give him, like, a thumbs up emoji and all that kind of stuff,
Well, depending on where it hits them, they may not care anymore.
That's true.
How the hell did we get on this topic?
I don't know, but I like it.
Let's go back to Tucker and Dale versus Evil, like we started the show.
We'll talk about your lazy boy toilet.
I don't got a lazy boy toilet. You got a
Stop
car toilet.
lying.
It says the guy that wants to put a toilet in every car instead of a chicken in every pot.
You bring that up every time. Every time.
Because you bring it up multiple times, man. We'll be in chat talking about something else. You'll be out there in the YouTube chat talking about this shit.
Let's think about this for a second. Now, are we talking about one chicken and one pot for everyone, or are we talking about every single pot with a chicken in it?
Well, whichever politician it was back in the day, he said a chicken in every pot. He didn't
Because
specify.
I have 5 or 6 pots, like under
Yeah.
my kitchen, in my kitchen
What
right
if
now.
I
so
wanted
that'd be
beef
5 or
stew?
6 chickens.
Yeah, the quote was simply a chicken in every pot. Didn't specify how many pots per person.
And a cat in every ass.
Now, see, a chicken in every single pot. Now, okay, now, if I take pot number 1 and cook the chicken and eat it, does that pot automatically get another chicken in it?
Ooh,
I don't know.
never ending chicken.
Because I'm trying to figure out here, if the pot never is unchickened, like I get to have my chicken and eat it too,
Yeah.
then it's probably more valuable than the toilet in every car. But if it's one pot, one chicken, or if it's 50 pots but only 50 chickens, and each time you use one, it's gone, and now you have an empty pot, the toilet in the car is gonna be more valuable over time.
Well, you're going to need the toilet in the car for all the chickens you're going to eat from the pots.
Plus, you need butter, you need hot sauce, you need breading. I mean, that's a lot of chicken, dude. You're gonna just have to switch it up.
One chicken per family.
Oh, the toilet in the car all the way.
I'd rather eat. I can poop anywhere.
Looking for sponsors,
You
folks.
moving to San Francisco, Pat?
Looking for sponsors for like, cool 50 mil. I can get a prototype vehicle running.
I'm gonna build my car with the toilet in it to have like one of those hippopotamus butts on the end. So if somebody's tailgating me, I can just push the button and the tail will flip back and forth.
No.
Shit all over 'em.
Blow it all out the back like a
Yeah, we already
grease
bring that up.
stand.
We already bring that up. You're gonna have to pay me royalties. I mean, the hippo butt's cool, but that was tailgate. I forgot what we called it last time, but we bring it up on this show.
The
Yeah,
anti-tailgate device, yeah.
Fucking
exactly.
James Bond
Yeah,
car.
you just drop a couple
Yeah,
turds out the back, and it
The
just
nasty
boom,
James Bond
all over
car.
the windows. Yeah,
James Bond just threw smoking oil
slick.
at the back.
Yeah. Spoil slick.
no man. If you got the Hershey squirts coming out of an ejector from the back, ain't nobody gonna be on your ass. Like,
No.
it's better than oil.
That's what you don't need. Somebody with the squirts, and then you end up with a bunch of corn kernels and shit all over your windshield. No. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, you know your windshield wipers with the fluid ain't going to get that shit off your window.
Corn will just clog up your ejector, man.
Dude, I tell you, that's a guaranteed Spitfire way to get out of work.
You use
And
that
I used it.
corn. You gotta filter the corn out and use it for ethanol later.
Oh, okay. But yeah, what?
If
Your car's got diarrhea as a way to get out of work?
No, but like, say, I don't know, you're a 16, 17-year-old kid or whatever, and the party's going on and you got to work. Tell them you got the Hershey squirts. Just go to the bathroom for like 5 minutes, come out, wait 20 minutes, go back in. And, when somebody looks at you funny, be like, I don't know how to really say it, man, but I got the Hershey squirts. You know what I mean? And, they'll look at you all funny, like, and they got to stop themselves from laughing and be all serious because it's at work. And then they'll offer you to go home. And then you get to go to the party and clock out 20 minutes in. Like, seriously, it worked.
Yeah. Gary, you know whose fault that is? The guy whose avatar is an outline of the state of New York. He brought up this goddamn toilet shit again.
But man, I'll tell you how
don't blame me.
I'll tell you how you get out of work or you get out of something, man. If you want to fake being sick, there's an easy way to do it, man. You just say 2 magic words. Kidney stone.
Ooh.
Everybody will cringe. Nobody will say nothing. Take a day off. 2 days off. Nobody will ask any questions.
Yeah.
Nobody will give you anything funny.
We'll see you Monday.
Nobody will bring it back up. Maybe how you feeling, and all you got to do is like, man, those are rough, and everybody be like sad for you, man, patting you on the back. Yeah, I know. You can fake, I got the flu, throwing up, fever, all that. They see through it, man. You just trying to get out of something. But you say those 2 magic words, and nobody will give you a hassle. They're like, ugh, I'm sorry, man.
Man, I thought we told you don't even bring up kidney stones. That shit's so serious.
See what I mean?
Yeah,
It's why you use it.
Talk about that shit, man.
No one will question it.
Dude, my dad has suffered from kidney stones for years and years, and he's got a little collection of them by now. And some of the ones that I've seen that doctors are like, this is like pregnancy, are like specks of dust.
Yeah, yeah.
The ones my dad passed are like marbles. It's, dude,
Dang.
if you've seen some of the kidney stones that my dad has passed, you'd kill yourself.
Dude, they're supposed to break them up, like if they're past a certain point. I mean, he's probably used to it doesn't go in, but I don't know how the hell you get used to a marble, because let me tell you, 2-3 millimeters is enough to make you think you're gonna die.
He's passed so many, he quit going to the doctor because I was like, well, why don't you go and get them broke up? And he said, because I'd be there once a month. I mean, some of them are smooth and round, and they look like Nerds candy, and then some of them look like little tiny specks of, what was that, Hellraiser, that monster from the movie, look like little Hellraiser heads.
Yep. Yeah, calcium ones are really abrasive and stuff like that. So I've gotten that. I kind of OD'd on the vitamin shakes. It was the only thing in the house late at night, and I was thirsty, but paid for it. But yeah, some of them are pretty nasty. You can kind of tell by the color, but I can tell you, man, I've had a lot of injuries, and the first time I got kidney stones, I honestly thought like my appendix burst. Like, this is something abnormal. I thought I was dying. Like, now I don't go to the hospital for them, but that's, kidney stones are no freaking joke. Like, I'm disappointed you even bring that shit up. Don't remind me of the horror.
My dad and I have both suffered with kidney stones forever, man. And I've had some that ain't so bad, but I've had some that's just terrible. And I tell you, I'm not afraid of a whole lot in this world. But man, I get this feeling in my back, and I know one's starting to move around, and like I get fear, I get panic in my body, in my chest, because I don't want to go through it tomorrow. You know what I mean?
You never know how it's gonna go. Could be quick.
Could
be a week laid up. Like, just can't be comfortable in no position at all. Just constant pain. You gotta piss, but you can't. Oh my god!
Yeah, man. I'd rather take a bullet in a non-critical area than a big kidney stone.
Yeah, my uncle, he had to fill out an FML form because when he would get them, he would be out for work for at least a week. He'd have multiple at one time.
Yeah, last time I was at the doctor for one, and they x-rayed me, man, and it came back, you have several. Both kidney. I was like, how many? Several. I wanted like a real number, and they would just say several.
There's too many for us to count.
So guns are cool if you want to discuss that.
Gary said that's what I'd say, FML.
Well, that massager is a kidney stone gun. Let me tell you. When you're feeling all cramped up like that, throw the big ball on that son of a bitch and put it on your guts, and it busts them up, and it goes quicker. Speaking of firearms, I know it's kind of a little on the end of it, but
mine just bust up and lodge and tumble and scrape and cut their whole way out, man. Mine come out like slivers of rust, man. I just hate them.
Hey, anyway, so what you packing today, man? What gun did you carry? Let's get off this shit.
You started it.
You're gonna give me nightmares, man. Like I told you, like a good 60,000, I could get a prototype up. You just send me the cash, and we'll get this farting car going.
I tell you what, I'm a tough guy, man. Kidney stone make me lay there naked and cry like a baby.
Okay. Well, since somebody's wanting to talk about guns, let's double back to the jousting with guns.
Oh, I thought you were going to say the gun that you're supposed to be designing and haven't gotten done yet.
No, I haven't worked on it in a while. I'll be honest, I haven't worked on it in a while. But anyway, so in that jousting competition, if there was 3 guys in that car, we already established that shotgun would be firing a shotgun.
Shotgun, AK, shotgun and AK. Got to go full stereotype.
What do you think would be the best guns for that jousting competition?
The driver has to have a pistol. That's it.
Driver's got a Tech 9. Driver's got a Tech 9. The guy in the back's got an AK, and you got the guy running shotgun with a shotgun.
Well, that's what I mean. Aren't the Mac 10s and the Tech 9s pistols?
Technically, if they don't have a stock on them.
Because that was my original intention, was the driver to have like a Mac 10 or something like that.
Yeah,
So
it has to be
black powder.
original, old school gang weapon, man.
That's what I said, Tech 9.
Tech 9, Mac 10. Hell, we'll even throw in an Uzi. How about that, man?
The rules are open. It's any gun you want to use in this competition.
oh, no, the driver has to have some type of full auto handgun.
No, you're taking the sportsmanship out of it, man. I'm telling you, black powder, they'll be lucky to get 2 shots off. Like when they're halfway.
If they're driving, they're going to get 1.
I know.
Unless
So you better make your
unless they're
damn
using a
shots
cap and
count,
ball
dude.
revolver.
Dude,
No.
one shot, one kill. Like, make your shots count. Jesus.
The
No,
problem
you got to
with the
have
black,
official weapons. Just like football, you have the official ball. You got to have referees for this, to keep everything in line. So, like, the guns are provided by the league. So, like, everybody's got the exact same thing. So you can't you can't cheat. You can't be like Tom Brady and let air out of the ball. You know what I mean? So you have to have like weapons. Like here to make it even harder. There ain't no reloads. You got to get what you got.
Man.
Here it is.
Okay.
You're going to make this so, like, only one crazy dude 12 years later actually gets to collect his trophy.
no, plus, you guys are
Street
going to
joust.
remember, a joust is only one quick pass. They're only going to zoom past each other, so they got to get as many rounds off one target as they possibly can.
Okay,
That's
but
why, 1, the black powder is not going to work, and 2, if there's too much black powder smoke in the air, you won't be able to see the carnage of the whole guys driving at each other shooting.
Makes it more. So give them all an Altor. It's the idea of less shots. They all get an Altor. That's the sponsored weapon. Snob can improve them all.
No.
Okay.
Make it rely on speed and accuracy, man.
We
Speed
can
and
have. I
accuracy.
do like Rob's idea, though. We can have a division where it's like single shot Altor or zip gun or something like that. So there's definitely room for single shot or even
Nice.
black powder guns. But the pro level, the heavyweight championship level, is going to be shotgun riding shotgun and full automatic handgun driving.
okay, so the guy in the back on the driver's side behind the driver, is that
An AK.
just any choice?
No, it's an AK. It's got to be an AK.
Well, do you get to customize these vehicles, or is this just basically a guaranteed death?
Well, no,
Yes.
but
It's a guaranteed death.
we've got brackets. So it's not just 3 men in a car, because if the bus bracket is going to have 50 guys in the car, and all 50 guys have full auto AKs. Or the bus drivers could be driving with RPGs.
We're gonna have to write up.
Wait. Did you say a driver's going to be driving with an RPG? That's going to be awful hard to fire from the driver's seat.
Oh man, a bus with
Who wants to be
RPGs.
in the rear?
The Somalians would dominate the league, man.
So there's plenty of room. And look, we'll even have like a
We're gonna start dragging
Special
the
Olympics version where all the Glock owners get to have their jousting day.
So what? Now we got to have terrorists come in and fill in the rest of the.
Yeah, we got an international league.
Is that the? Oh God!
So
The
you
inter-
screw around, these sons of bitches be driving on 2 wheels, using the bottom of their car as a shield and shit. I don't know if we should do that.
All cars have to be made out of basic plastic. So Squib, turn the machines on full blast. We need a bunch of plastic for these cars.
Now, are the cars going to have the hydraulics where they bounce going down the track?
No, bone stock.
That could be like a freestyle. That could be like the freestyle bracket. to where they could drive backwards or on two wheels like Dukes of Hazzard style, or hydraulics like Dr. Dre style. That's very the potential here is huge, guys.
Yeah, I think
Well,
G23 is missing the point. This is an organized sport that Kingpin came up with.
well, see,
Whoa,
I-
whoa! This is my idea, damn it. He's just built on it, okay? I told you I wanted royalties like 20 minutes ago on this shit.
well, see now.
I've been shot at before plenty of times. That's not
Uh,
fun.
yeah, I've got an idea for 4 brackets now because I liked Rob's idea and I liked everybody else's idea. So you go to the amateur class. That is black powder. Then you go up into the rookie, and that is bolt action rifles.
If you want black powder, we gotta do a cowboy division.
Yeah,
well,
and all your cars have to have those giant longhorn horns on the front.
No. Stagecoaches. Cowboy division is stagecoaches.
Yeah, Squib being on that one.
How are we going to get past the the PETA if we're going to have horses getting shot at?
Well, you have fake horses and
Have to, okay. To keep it original, you can have a wagon, but it has to be hauled by a motorcycle, an iron horse.
well, I was gonna say the stagecoach is actually motorized, and the horses are just like the horses on a merry-go-round kind of horse.
Dude, we could have like a senior citizens bracket where they drive those giant RVs.
Right.
Oh no, senior citizens bracket. They drive the scooters like Rick has.
Yep. Wheelchairs and
Golf carts.
and golf.
Golf carts.
Oh, we need to get lawnmowers in there too.
Oh God, Citizens League drive-by. Oh God.
Yeah,
Cancer
that's
patients,
Street Wars.
leukemia. Here we come.
How are we going to pay for all this stuff?
I don't know. You came up with it. You got to figure that out.
All right, wait a second. All right. So,
Build Back Better program.
what's more important, trying to figure out how to get people to join us, or
Well,
figuring out how to pay for it?
I know how to pay for it. We'll trick Joe Biden into thinking we're going to go over to Ukraine with the money.
All right, sweet.
It's just common sense sports. Come on now.
Yeah, man. Instead of pickleball, this is pistol ball.
Does anybody have any pictures of Hunter Biden? No? Nobody? I guess you
No.
probably wouldn't want to say that out loud anyway.
Anyway,
What do you mean together, or
Together in what way, Jason?
with us? He asked, "Does anybody have a picture of Hunter Biden?" I'm like, "What? Us together or what?" Yeah, we hang out. At the same club.
Smoking Parmesan together?
Yeah, but that's before I realized I needed glasses.
man, we've gone down some
The
rabbit.
FBI does. Oh wait, they lost that, didn't they?
No, they still have it. They still haven't. I don't know. Have they validated it yet? Everybody else has.
Yeah, Snob out there, he says something. He's got it all wrong, man. I'm the one that sold the shit to Hunter.
Huh.
There's like 15 Russian gangsters that got a hold of 15 different Hunter Biden laptops. That stupid idiot. One of the clips that they got him on, he's with a prostitute in a hotel room, and he's bitching to her about how these Russian gangsters keep kicking his ass and taking his laptop.
Yeah. Personally, I think Hunter is intentionally trying to get his dad caught because he keeps leaving laptops everywhere with all this incriminating evidence on it.
Hey, that's funny, but I actually believe that because there's also emails that came up from the very beginning of all this where Hunter was bitching and complaining about how Joe treats him like crap and the whole family treats him like crap and he pays for everything for everybody. So, and he fully understands that he's the GOAT. When it comes time to cut somebody's throat, it's his throat getting cut.
I was only semi-joking, Kingpin.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. It's funny, But it's funny because it's true.
I mean, look at all the laptops the guys lost.
Allegedly. Damn.
One is an accident.
Banned. Everybody's trying to get their show banned.
One is an accident. 2 is plausible. 50?
And Snob, the problem with the hotel room with a prostitute is behind the dumpster's free. Okay, that was nasty. I shouldn't have said that. I apologize.
Well, with the prostitute in the hotel, you just hollow out the mattress, shove her in the mattress, and walk out the door. They won't find her for a week.
Why is it so lumpy?
All I can say is go where you want to go. Don't go anywhere she suggests.
You always check the mattress at a hotel. Yeah. Normally they got those little sticky things under there for bugs. You need to make sure there ain't no bugs and shit like that. Yeah, always check your hotel room.
If you want to sleep at night while in a hotel room, don't take a blacklight with you.
I found a 2-headed dildo in a hotel room once.
Oh, hey.
Yeah, it was like a towel or something wrapped in it, some nasty shit out there. Oh man, I don't know whose it was. It was one of the places by the boardwalk somewhere, Jersey. I don't know. I was hanging out with friends. We got one room, and then had to sneak in. People there were like, sitting there. It was one of them places like. It was like you had to drive your car through a little tunnel, and then their office was right there, so they can just sit there and look in your car as you go by and shit. And then you get in, and it's like a standard place where there's a dozen rooms and a big like horseshoe type deal. And we snuck people in. Obviously, we were hanging out, going to have fun. We just wanted that room to place a party, crash and whatever, and go about our business. It was a hell of a time. They ended up like throwing us out in the morning. Threw open the bathroom. Somebody found that dildo in the ceiling. There was these glass tiles
in the ceiling.
Dude, man, I've had a lot of fun sometimes. Needless to state, that was we were laughing so hard. I think that's probably the second, third time they came beating on our door and shit, but it was funny. It was a hell of a time, but yeah, we didn't do nothing with it but laugh our ass off and try not to drop it on the bed because it was you'd stand on the bed, pop the glass, little mirror things and shit. So you never know what you can find in hotel rooms. You get snoopy. I recommend you do get snoopy because with modern technology, it's really easy for somebody that works there, realize mom and daughter are getting a room for a night to go and pop a camera somewhere and pick that shit up. It's pretty simple. So I always recommend check your shit. That's why I don't like Airbnb because it's a private residence. Rules are different, shit like that. And I will hurt somebody. Like I'm not paying it, I better get a goddamn cut if there's some video going on. That's what I'm saying. But when it comes to my kids, shit like this, it's a big thing on the cruises because a lot of times nobody can get charged for it, and depending where it takes place and stuff. So I mean, stuff like this happens. People don't like to talk about it, but it happens. So check your shit.
I'm gonna start calling Rob Bob Saget.
Man, I can't.
Why? What's Bob Saget?
Bob Saget's clean and Danny Tanner on the surface, but when you turn the camera off, he's a wild party man.
Okay. Well, there might be something there.
I can't get the image out of my mind of a room full of people looking up at the ceiling, and someone points, "Hey, man, is that a dick?" See if you can reach it, Rob.
Is that a dildo sticking in the drop ceiling?
I'll tell you, it's the last thing you want falling out on your face. I can tell you that.
Oh.
He's not wrong.
I can't think of much worse.
I'm sure there's somebody that, I don't know, once a month, once every couple weeks or whatever, has some work rotation and can request that same room. Yeah, and there's probably a reason to that. Sick bastards. That son of a bitch was like close 2 feet long.
Rob measured it.
Got out the
Use that shit as a weapon. You beat somebody at the door with it or something. Seriously, man.
The house we worked in a couple weeks ago. This guy him and his wife bought it. It's their second house, getting a little bit bigger for their kids and all that kind of crap. And the lady that lived in there before was a little bit unbalanced, I guess you could say. And so she left some of her stuff there. Most of it was cleaned out, but either way, so I'm going through these closets to take shelves off and fix the holes and stuff. And in my line of work, when you're in people's houses, you can sense when you're about to come across something nice and juicy. And I just felt it when I opened this closet door. I said, I'm going to hit the gold mine in here. And sure enough, I did. There's a big stack of negatives. And every single one was her naked with a bunch of different people and girls. And I mean, it was crazy.
Damn. Man.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's crazy working in people's places, man. I've been places where there was like condoms stuck to the wall behind the TV and shit. Like places where they were just publicly, known as, one of the girls at the strip club, like a normal stripper house, where they just walk around fucking butt ass naked, not giving a fuck. Like, you're there to fix this, or like, oh hey, what's up? Come on in. Like, you're like, like, oh, come in. And then they start fucking with you and shit. There's a lot of that stuff. So, there's a lot of different people out there. I've also had customers where you go over there and it's like a 400-pound lady in lingerie answering the door and shit, want to bullshit. It's like, whoa, I had to start bringing a lady to jobs a couple places, but there's a lot of people out there in the weird shit. Some people live nasty as hell too. Nasty.
What Rob is trying to say is he once got called to do a job on Lizzo's house, and
Last year during the summer, we were working in these people's houses and we were doing a whole bunch of different stuff all throughout the house. So when we got to the day where we were going to work in their master bedroom, again, I had to clean out the closet. But most people will take like their clothes and stuff out, but occasionally they'll forget this or that, So whatever's left in there, I'll take out so I can paint or fix drywall. And sure enough, I look on this shelf and there's a DVD upside down. I walked into the master bathroom because that's where my coworker was, and I was like, "Come on with me. I want you to see this in real time as it happens." He's like, "What are you talking about?" I said, "I'm going to show you something, and I'm going to remember how I told you how I got a feeling?" He was like, "Yeah." I opened the closet door and said, "You see that DVD right there?" And he's like, "Yeah. So what?" I said, $100 tells you that's porno." He grabbed it, flipped it over. Sure enough, it was porno. The people's house that we were working in were like 80 years old, and they were the cutest old couple in the world. And it was just so funny that these 80-year-old people had porno.
Hey man, they gotta get down too. Yeah, I don't know. Shit.
They
Yeah.
weren't like
Old people are
decrepit 80-year-olds. They were still healthy and mobile and all that. And like I said, they were a cute little couple. You can tell they've been in love for a long time. But it was just funny that as soon as I seen the DVD, I was like, jackpot.
hey,
It's
them
another
old
reason
people
why I
are
like to
freaks.
wear gloves in people's houses, because you never know. Or you get like, just like Kingpin saying, people always say they're going to pick stuff up. If you're lucky, they pick the valuable shit up, knick-knack, shit like that. But you always get stuck with the major shit, usually. It's what it is, or I'm sorry, I didn't have the time, or whatever bullshit. But yeah, sometimes you'll end up in the closet and there'll be that pink, like, shoebox that's all greasy and shit. Perfect thing for gloves, man. Don't open that fucking box. It might even start vibrating when you pick it up, but a lot of ladies got a little pink box hidden in their closet for some reason. I mean,
Yeah, right.
maybe the guys aren't doing it. I don't know what the deal is out there. I mean, it might tell men something. I don't know if they, got to have a whole box of shit. Maybe you got to kick your game up, man.
Hey, man, I got a horror story for you. You want to talk about the ultimate finds at a house? I'll change the names here to protect the guilty. But I had a family member that bought grandma's house, okay? And ended up didn't make the house payment for like 2-3 years, right? And my grandma was continuing to pay the house payment till it used up all her savings. And they'd moved out and wasn't staying there, and the house was sitting there empty. And I find out about it because grandma says she's going to let the bank take the house back, right? A house that her and my real grandpa had for, years and years. And I'm like, what? And she owed like $7,500 on this house. And like, I didn't even need it or want it or anything, but I'm not letting grandma's house get took to the bank, right? I hadn't seen the house in 10, 15 years, but it used to be a real nice, pretty house, flowers in the yard and everything. So I agree to buy the house, get everything going, and I go over to the house and open the front door, and I swear to God, the floor was 2.5 feet thick before you could get to the floor of solid nudie books, man. This was like a 9-room house, and there was one room that was untouched. It looked like nobody even walked in that room for a decade since my grandma lived there or whatever. Everywhere else was nudie books, nudie pictures, nudie pages. He took like, I don't know, there was a refrigerator in a dining room, not the kitchen, right? Wasn't plugged up or nothing. And I opened up the refrigerator, and it was like a filing cabinet in there for nudie books and pages. And the freak would like get nudie books, and like if the girl was like blonde haired or whatever, he'd tear that picture out, and he had just like thousands of pictures of just all blondes and thousands of brunettes and thousands of redheads. There was 2 front doors in this house, the way it was made, and I opened the doors up, and the wind, to get some breeze in there, was blowing pictures out in the yard and shit, and I had to run out there and grab them and pick them up. There was literally thousands and thousands of nothing but nudie pictures, man. I did all that cleaning up in that house. We got rid of all that shit. It was just incredible. I couldn't believe it. I didn't even talk to that family member for years. I was so mad about it. And after it was all said and done, that was downstairs. I moved up to the upstairs of the house. And you remember, way back when you were all younger, remember when you got a Christmas tree and you kept the same tree every year, but it was a giant box. Your Christmas tree box was, 4, 5 feet long, 2, 3 feet wide, right? Mm-hmm. I go upstairs. There is a Christmas tree box completely full of magazines, right?
So you kept it, didn't you?
Me and my buddy pushed it down the stair steps like skiing to get it to the bottom of the floor. Had to back the truck up all the way to the porch and put the tailgate down. And I was probably right at my early 30s, maybe 30, 31, 32. I was young and in shape. So was he. We slid that box out and got into the bed of his truck to go get rid of it. We actually hurt our backs where it couldn't go to work the next day. That box was so goddamn heavy of nudie books. And we took him out to his garage, and his father had a big shop in this garage years ago and everything. But anyways, he had this wood burner that was massive. I mean, the door was probably like 3 feet by 3 feet to this wood burner. And we sat and burnt so many books in there. The furnace quit burning because we'd filled it so far up with ash it wasn't getting any flow and anything. And when that was all said and done, I counted, and there was 300 magazines still left in that Christmas tree box, man. But that's how much pornographic filth was in that house. It had to be the world's biggest collection. It really fucking did, man. It was craziest thing I ever seen in my life. But it was funny though, like when you got a burn pit and you're burning that, you just can't help but like grab a picture and tell your buddy like, "Hey Jerry, look at that hot pussy," and throw it in the fire and shit. I remember doing a whole bunch of that. But yeah, there was more than you ever seen in your life, man. I don't understand how he could do that, man. He must have had a skin graft or something done, because that's just, there's so much of that. It was incredible.
Yeah,
Now, you said the house had 2 front doors. Are you sure that wasn't Christine Blasey Ford's house? That's an old reference now, I guess. People don't remember the crazy blonde-haired chick that said Kavanaugh raped her a bunch of times, even though they never met.
Yeah. But
I'm just pissed at Snob because he wasn't supposed to tell anybody about that.
Yeah, that comment is Snob. I had a buddy who did that with his coffee table, and he put a sheet of plexiglass over top to protect the pictures. And anytime somebody came over his house, he put a tablecloth over the coffee table so nobody would see it.
What's wrong with people in this world, man? Jesus Christ.
Well, I can understand the coffee table thing if you're like in your mid-20s and you're single and buds come over and stuff like that. But, you know, as kind of like a joke. But some of the rest of that stuff is nasty.
I disagree, man. Yeah, that's one thing I never got. Like, I never went to like parties where I sat around with my buds and flipped through porn magazines. Like, that sounds like the beginning of one of them circle jerk things. And honestly, I want no part of that shit. Like, I don't want to watch porn with my buds. None of that shit.
Yeah, no, I never did any of that. That's not cool. But
No.
my friend's dad did have his shed that he kept his lawnmower in, and he kept some naked booby pictures up on. So me and my bub would be like, "Oh yeah, look at some nudie boobs." So I would get it if you know you're a college dude and you like chicks and you want to put some naked pictures around your house because you're hornball 18-year-old college dude. Yeah, okay, I get that. But some like what Snob's talking about, that's some seriously call the cops on some shit.
Yeah, I like that naked art though. Like those statues, some of those statues, things like some of that stuff is pretty cool. Like I don't see a problem with stuff like that. It's how you go about it, I guess. Yeah, but just cut out Playboys plastered all over your wall. I think that's probably the cheesiest way to go about it.
I was just about ready to mention that the one thing to consider about everything that was in this house. I'm not talking about Playboys where you had some movie stars, these gorgeous women and top photographers and all that. You know what I mean? That's okay. This was demonic filth, dude. I mean, like, damn, you know what I mean? Like, you couldn't believe it, man. It was, I swear to God, it was knee high at least, man. I mean, from the floor to the front to the back of the house, there was not an inch of space in that house that didn't have some porn stuff, man. It was crazy. The whole place should have been burnt to the ground, considered the devil's den or something, man.
Should have been burnt down to prevent disease spreading.
Oh, plus the same person, as you can imagine, once you got all the filth out of the house, of course, they wrecked and fucked up the whole rest of the fucking house, too. Of course. Needed a light switch, like, installed, put in, added for the bathroom. So he wired it with regular extension cord wire and busted a hole in the wall, laid the wire in there, and then mudded over the fucking extension cord wire, and then popped out the extension cord, plugged it in an outlet on the other side of the room. Shit like that, man. Had everything tore up, had the cabinets tore up into place. I couldn't believe it. And to sum it all up, I lost money on that deal.
Well, bro, you probably could have resold those magazines and made a killing. Like, some of those might have been even collectibles.
He also probably could have caught a bunch of felonies too.
Yeah, dude, I swear to God, you open the door and the breeze would like blow it out in the yard. You got to go grab that up. You just can't throw that shit out in public. Kids, people walk by. It was that bad that like stuff blew out the doors with the breeze while you were trying to clean it up, man. Now C&T, like I said, I just imagine he probably had to have a fucking skin graft on his Peter or something to go through all that.
Well, maybe the dude was, maybe that's how he made his money. So, I mean, it's not that abnormal for people to invest in different companies. Some of these companies, those companies especially, don't have necessarily, you know, the most obvious names. There's, a lot of people out there. I mean, it was a big industry. Now, like, well, I really can't speak for now, but, from what I hear, you used to be able to, like, actually make money. Now everybody on the internet's showing their pussy for $5. You know what I mean? So, it kind of devalued the whole market in a sense. So if you look back so many years ago, in the print versus now where it's media, there's it was a pretty big market. I mean, some people obviously would consider it sleazy or whatever. Other people would consider it genius, and it might be your grandpa that owns, the company that's producing these magazines because he knows kids are going to buy it. Yeah. So, it's hard to say. So maybe it was, some type of work thing or an editor thing or something. And, he had a copy of everything he's ever signed off on or something. I mean, it's hard to say. It might not be exact, your first thought is all I'm getting at.
All I know is they didn't pay the house payment to my grandma for years, and there was a forest worth of paper inside that house. There's probably $10,000 worth of shit and never paid the rent. So I had a lot to not be very happy about.
We're coming up on 3 hours. It's time to start wrapping this up. I think we've gone down enough rabbit holes for one night.
This old house.
What a hell of a chat.
So, Jason, you got anything you want to plug or anything besides? Never mind. I'm not even going to go there before we get out of here.
No, good show. Crazy subjects. Crazy topics tonight, but we just hanging out, man. And I can't believe nobody even brought up that Kari Lake running for governor, but maybe we'll get into that next week.
All right. What about you, Rob?
I got nothing. Threw a couple shorts out recently, but besides that, just normal. Eat a salad, avoid the Glock brainwashing, use cash, and be a damn man or woman, whatever, which one you are. Other than that, thanks for joining us and have a great evening.
And be careful, everyone. You never know when a dong's going to come along.
I got that code right, Rob.
Yep. One more. Shit, no, I'm forgetting it. Never mind. Maybe it'll come back.
Yep. Go out there, since Rob didn't mention it, and buy yourself a stand, god damn it. There's the link. And a discount code. You don't got no excuse not to. Okay. Kingpin, what about you?
Normally at this time, I like to shout out a fellow YouTuber and say, hey, go check out their channel because, they could do cool stuff. But I'd hate to get them banned from YouTube tonight, so I'm not going to mention anybody else's channel after this chat.
Yeah, being associated with this show tonight might not be the best idea.
Yeah, instead
Have
of
fun, everybody. Thanks for hanging out. That was pretty fun.
Yeah, instead of recommending anybody, all I could say is just stop listening to us.
Forget you ever saw this show.
Thanks for joining us this weekend. Sorry we'll never see you again.
And on that note, I'm going to play the outro on the off chance that we do have a show next week. So until then, have a good night, everybody, and go shooting if you can afford to. And, yep. And I almost played wrong. What the hell? There we go. All right. Bye-bye.